Hey, we have an old friend stopping by. Patrice. No, fuck him.
What? Hey. Patrice is a pal.
Is he? Is he really?
Is he really?
Let's be honest.
Is he really?
It's Poe
Let's
going
talk
crazy
about
with
this.
paperwork
That
out
is
there.
true. I was actually hurt that I didn't get invited to that Memorial Day party. I would have went.
Shut up, no.
I would have.
Hello, sir.
Wow, that's what I mean.
How
Chris
are you?
Jericho. Hey, dude. Looking like an actor or
Like
something.
a businessman.
What the fuck are you doing, man?
actor, what the hell happened?
He is beautiful right now.
What happened to Chris Jericho?
How beautiful Chris looks.
I am now Chris Jericho, famous author.
So he has to dress the part and
Yes, I
everything?
have to dress. I have a monocle and an ascot and a pipe, and I sit in front of a raging fire reading segments from my novel.
Is this a different book than you plugged on the Bronx Bunny? Or just the same
No,
book?
it's the same one. It just finally came out. I've
What's
been
the
working on it for
Bronx
like
Bunny?
a year and a half.
I told you about the Bronx Bunny. I thought that was hilarious, dude. That Bronx Bunny.
Bronx
thing.
Bunny is this show from it's from Ireland, and it's like these guys who they're like puppeteers, and these puppets interview you.
Gotcha.
But the thing is, once you start the interview, you don't even realize there's a guy on the floor who's like manipulating the puppets. You actually, and they're really great. They're like really insult you, and it's just a wide open show. It's a lot of fun. It's kind of like this one actually.
And you're just talking to the fucking puppet.
Yeah, that's right. Getting insulted by the puppet. It's like, hey, you fucking suck. And it's like, shut up, puppet.
It was the best one. He goes, the puppet goes, because Chris would be like going, he would start at something and go, yeah, and then they would go, will you just answer the fucking question?
I can't. I just talk for hours.
Wait, can we get that audio?
I
He
can't
just
do
answer
it.
the fucking question.
I remember this now. Yeah, we've played some segments from that show. Let's find the one that Chris Jericho was on.
The Bronx Bunny.
It's been a while, man. Where have you
It
been?
has been, man. It's fun to see you guys again. It's funny because we were trying to get through, and they're like, I don't know, new producer, old producer, and I was like, I'm going to call Opie
No
and Anthony.
producer,
No
it's called.
producer.
Yeah, we
I'm
call
just
it
gonna
no
call you. I'm
producer.
just going to show up outside the window and go, Opie, hey, remember me? Yeah, man. I've just been working on this book, and I've been doing a couple other things, but fucking writing a book, man.
I got to be honest.
Holy
I
smokes.
haven't been able to read it yet. There's so many authors coming by these days. I got they're stacking up in my house because I really try to read a little before you guys come in. But I'll tell you this much: it's called A Lion's Tale by Chris Jericho, and right on the front cover, Mick Foley writes, "Thoughtful, thorough, and laugh out loud funny." Jericho's book is winner, and I've heard further from Mick that he's scared that your book is way better than his, and I loved his book.
Well,
That's the plug I'm giving you today. That's all I could give you.
Well, I think this book's in the same vein as Mick's first one is, and obviously that's kind of the top of the mountain. You want to try and write that because the reason why this book is a lot of fun is it's not just a book written for wrestling fans. It's a book written for people that don't know about wrestling because it's more the story of this dream I had from wanting to be a wrestler at 8 years old, watching wrestling with my grandma in her basement, forced to.
Well, I'll slow you down a second. Who did you watch when you were 8?
AWA was from Minnesota.
Some
I
of the
grew up in
guys,
Winnipeg.
though,
So it
that
was
we might know.
Hulk Hogan.
Okay.
When he first started, before he went to WWE, and the guys like Nick Bockwinkel and Baron Von Raschke and all these wacky guys from Minneapolis. And I watched Bugs Bunny at 5, and I watched Hockey Night in Canada at 7, and wrestling was on in the middle. But because my grandma was in charge of the TV, you couldn't change the channel. That's all there was to it. You're watching wrestling. So that's how I got into it right off the bat. And then soon afterwards, I was like, I'm going to do this. I want to be a wrestler.
Right.
I don't know how I'm going to do it. I'm 8 years old. I'm like a midget.
8 years old.
Yeah,
So I love Tome.
Yeah. Little nunchuck on a
The
pole.
Child League, which was really underground.
Very much so. It was a
Fighting
sweatshop.
kids.
Yeah, so that's kind of the deal. And this is how I followed my dream of becoming a wrestler, but all around the world, going to Mexico and Japan and Germany and all these different places, and not just the things that happen in the ring, but like some of the things that happen outside of the ring, the life-threatening situations and the dangerous things that happened. And so it's kind of that's the tale. I think that's why people are digging it.
Yeah, very cool.
Yeah, man.
Was it hard to write?
I'll tell you what. I thought, well, I'm going to write this book. And,
So I know Jimmy just wrote a book too, and he just made it seem like it was easy.
Well, then he's a genius, man, because it took me
he
about
is.
18 months to write this thing, and even crazier was that we had twins last summer, and I have a son too. So my wife would be with the twins. I'd put my son to bed at 10. I'd write from 10 to 3 in the morning, then get up with my son at 7. That was my schedule for like 18 months. It was like being a radio host or something.
You
like
on
that.
5 hours a night, man? That's amazing, though, to do that. You have to kind of do that to, like, just regiment yourself, and I was never able to do that.
It's tough, and then I'm such a control freak. I edited it myself. I wrote all the
Oh, you
copy
did?
and everything. Took pick the pictures,
cool.
pick the captions. But once again, I think that's why it works, because if this is my story, I don't want anybody else writing it.
Right.
No one else is going to know how to do it like I can.
You're happy with the way it came out, right?
Yeah, it's exactly the way I wanted it.
Good.
Exactly. I'm obsessed with it. I'm an idiot.
You do a good show too on XM, man. Do you still do the show?
I got fired off of XM.
Why? All right.
They had a new
Way
program.
to go, Jimmy.
They had a-
Well, no,
yeah,
but
thanks for-
it was on Sunday nights, and you played good stuff, man.
2 years. For 2 years, I had the show, and then they got a new program director, and you guys know how that works.
Wait, what show did
I was
he
on
do?
I was on the Boneyard.
Yes.
It was called the Rock.
Best station on next to this one.
It was called. Close, man.
And what, you just played whatever you wanted?
Yeah, the Rock of Jericho it was called, and I
Very
did it
cool.
for 2 years. 2 hours, man. It was fun. But then I had a new program director.
What were your favorite hair bands growing up?
I was more into the harder stuff.
Although
like
Boneyard's
Maiden.
more than hair bands.
Yeah,
that's not
more
fair,
of a,
really.
a Maiden guy, Iron Maiden,
Iron
those
Maiden?
Dio, and those type of guys. How about you, Patrice? What was your favorite hair metal band?
I knew a lot of them.
Patrice knows white stuff.
Yeah.
I know he does. I know what you were doing,
I'm trying
Chris,
to get
but
him to
he'll
stop
have an
reading
answer for you.
You know,
trying to stop reading the paper.
you know what? That's very fair of you, because I'm doing some asshole shit right now. I'm just the shit you was talking about. It was just bugging me. So let me. I'm just fucking with you.
He was reading the paper, man. He was reading the sports
I was
section.
just seeing how many stars they gave American Gangster, and you know what?
Patrice has a great way.
You know what? You're fucking absolutely right. I was just disgusting.
You have a
And I'm
great-
with you now.
You have a great way of making people feel insignificant.
I'm talking about this is my life.
Once upon a time,
Yeah, he's really
American
pouring his
3
soul
stars.
out.
That's bullshit.
everybody's figuring out names of books. I'm gonna call it. So he was going through them like, first one is Top Rope.
Your favorite hair band, Patrice. Let's go. Favorite hair band. He'll have an answer for you, Chris.
I would say, no. Sabbath wasn't a hair band.
No, that wasn't a hair band. Who said that?
Chris would agree that Ozzy was a hack. You would agree with that, right?
No, I can't, man.
You know, I
just want one guy to say it in front of Jimmy.
hair bands were very one-hit wonderish. So I can't imagine there was a one that was like this hair band hair got mixed in with all of it. They were great. It seems like they were.
Motley Crue.
Well, there's a couple that
Come
stuck out
on,
more.
feel the noise. A bunch of that mess.
Quiet Riot.
Quiet Riot.
But that's
is
what they,
Patrice
you know.
O'Neill's
I
favorite
wanna
hair band.
rock.
And Twisted Sister.
Twisted Sister. Come on, let's
I
go.
don't know any other.
Motley Crue. You know Motley Crue.
I would you welcome to the jungle?
Guns N' Roses.
Guns N' Roses hardly a one-hit wonder. Probably the greatest band.
Let me
ever
tell you,
made.
though.
One-hit wonder, maybe.
Patrice
No,
is
Guns N'
the
Roses
most
is your-
knowledgeable black man on white people I've ever known in my life.
Ever. I mean, to have the reference
not.
point to pull it, but
No.
I know these.
He knows us like one learns their enemy. He doesn't like white stuff. He studies white people so he can hurt us with our own information.
The art of war.
He uses it against us. That's right.
Of course he does. He
Sun Tzu's Art of War. When it comes to Twisted Sister,
hates all things white.
But he knows them all,
it
yeah.
was back. There was a time. I think we talked about it before, but there was a time where you knew each other's music. There was a time where, like right now, it's got to be a bad time for white music because I know nothing.
But
You
yeah,
don't hear it. But I was forced to listen to it growing up. You heard white music. I knew REM. I knew this, that, and the third. Now I don't know anything, but I knew Twisted Sister.
But you're kind of right, though. There's not a lot of new bands that are really that popular that are crossing over. I can't even think of hardly any new bands that I liked recently.
White people music is dead right now. I hear
You don't like
I don't hear
You don't
Well,
like
music
Wolf Mother
first.
Or,
I like Wolf Mother. I like Avenged Sevenfold. There's a couple bands that are pretty cool.
Yeah, 'cause-
but it's not like he's saying like it was back in the day when everyone knew who Quiet Riot was, or everyone
Let's
knew.
not
who-
forget
Yeah.
that we're talking to the lead singer of Fozzy here. You know,
That's right. Absolutely.
Which I, to this day, and this is what I'm saying, if I really was deep entrenched, I would go, I just thought you were doing a wrestling thing. I did not
I thought it was a
realize-
work.
Right.
I
That's
just
right.
didn't realize this was
Definitely.
a serious
Well,
thing for you.
the first time I ever did O&A was when I first started Fozzy. I was doing like,
you wouldn't break character.
doing like a Spinal Tap Blues Brothers thing where I came in as Moon Goose McQueen, which was my alter ego.
We were calling you Mule Juice.
Mule Juice,
Mule Juice McDick.
The first time, like, you guys didn't know who I was. I didn't know who you guys
We've come a
were.
long way, Chris.
It was so funny because like you guys were trying to make me break character. I wouldn't do it. You were busting my balls. I was busting your balls. The best thing was, you guys probably remember this, Andrew Dice Clay was there. And Dice he didn't have a clue what was going on. He was like, was this guy a wrestler? Is he a singer?
Yeah.
And you guys are going, he's a wrestler. And I'm going, I'm a singer. He goes, listen, he says he's a singer. He's a singer. Give him a break. So it was Jericho and Dice versus Opie and Anthony.
Yeah.
Moon Goose McQueen.
What pissed us off, too, because we were huge fans of your wrestling back then, especially, and we're like, fuck this stupid music thing. We want to talk to Chris Jericho, the wrestler.
Just how insane was I at the time?
Because the Fozzy thing did take off, and it became, this thing for a while.
There's so much going on with your character at the time. We wanted to kind of talk about that, and you wouldn't even fucking break character.
I was being I was being so pretentious.
Oh, you were.
To do it.
We used to make fun of your Pebbles hairdo and everything.
Everything, man. It's so funny though. Now we're like buds, but that's what a way
Oh
to
my
start.
God, you got us so pissed off. We actually were calling your hairdo a cum fountain.
You guys were so mad at me.
Yeah.
That was so funny.
Hey, can I ask you?
That was awful.
You was a heel during the time of Fozzy, right? And so would you be, since it was a serious thing, was you upset when the crowd would boo you, like, because you was a heel, but you was actually doing your good music, and they like fucked Chris Jericho at the time?
It was tough because when we first started, like I was just a total schizo thing. I was doing the Andy Kaufman, Tony Clifton. Like I was not Chris Jericho. I was Moon Goose. I came from Japan. Chris Jericho was a fan of mine. And it was a couple times we played live, and people would start to boo, and at the time it was cool, like this is great. And then after a while, like man, we really fucked ourselves because people booed this as like a heel thing. That's a good question.
That's what I'm saying.
And then when we took it more of a serious thing, people didn't know if it was real, is it bullshit? So it was kind of a weird place because at first it was just a fun thing. We did it just for fun, and then we started getting really good, and then we said, well, we should try and take this a little bit further. But because we started in such a weird way, it was hard to kind of break out of that. But we finally ended up doing that, like you said. So.
Now you're doing the WWE, like I see a lot of stuff when the WWE guys branch off into different areas. Like I seen Condemned. Condemned was pretty good, by the way, with Steve Austin. I enjoyed that movie. You know
Oh, did he really?
I liked the movie.
That was the he was a convict on an island or whatever.
And I thought
he had
that
to
it was
survive.
pretty damn good, and he didn't overdo it. But like, are you doing your stuff now with all this WWE thing attached? Like, can you be just Chris Jericho by yourself, or no?
He hasn't wrestled in a while, but there's a heavy rumor that he's going back.
He ain't going back. This dude is
he's going back.
See his muscles, see his arms. He's lost weight. No. He's in shape. He's regular guy in shape now. Do you see The Rock now? He's regular guy.
He's skinny
big.
guy.
He's not wrestling big anymore. He's regular in shape. Normal guy big now, and he's not going back to no fucking wrestling.
Well, even if you did, it's all about personality, and a lot of guys have forgotten that nowadays. Now, you guys know that Patrice actually worked in the WWE.
He used to write.
He used to write there for how long? Like a month or
a month. I got fired.
Seriously, I'm not even joking.
Let me tell you something. When you're in that thing, it's like you got to be in it, and I just wasn't in it, and I just had to get fired. But I loved it. But my thing is when I
did Vince McMahon fire you personally? Angry Vince?
Stephanie did. He didn't go, you're
Stephanie.
fired.
You're fired.
And she fired me.
Patrice, I'd like to see you in my office.
She fired me 8 times.
You stink. You know, I've been going through some of your writing, and it stinks.
Let me tell you something. You know how you're proud of something?
I'm gonna write my own material. I got a little sketch I want to run past you right about now. How about this one? You write me something, I think it sucks ass, and you're fine. You like that sketch? Do you like
it? I told you guys that I've only blinked slow at 3 dudes in my life. Like where I'm just like
blink slow.
You're holding back the tears. It was just what's that music?
Awestruck.
It's just little bird. And he was one, and because it was just his aura was magnificent.
Yeah, he is.
And
quite
none of the wrestlers
personality.
I had that. Like when I was doing it, I met the wrestlers. Like, hey, what's happening? Like Test is as big of a human being as you can see. But you just go, hey, how you doing? This is how you doing? And at that time, I didn't meet him at the time, but he was one of the big heavies. He's like one of the guys that could ride in a jet. From where they going to the next day, and then everybody else had to
I'll take the bus.
use a skateboard or fucking be on a train.
We didn't
he was a plane guy.
We didn't associate with the lowly writers.
They sat in the front, and the writers were in the back where the plane is. You were
on Vince's plane and all that.
The writers go with Vince.
Wow.
The writers stay with Vince. The writers don't get there on their own because they got to write the shows. And the thing that was great about
And you
Vince,
got 10 wrestlers in a van piling in, trying to go
but it would
from
be
arena to arena.
It would be him,
But you were one of the guys that got
the Undertaker, Stone Cold, The Rock, and maybe now
Mick Foley?
Rey Mysterio might be on. But the guy with the pituitary gland thing, he's not on. The giant Indian who should just be removed from wrestling.
The pituitary. That's his gimmick. Ladies and gentlemen, weighing 500 pounds, the pituitary gland.
Where he has Rey Mysterio's legs and Kane's body, Kane's upper torso.
They've been trying to get the new Andre the Giant for years.
Forever. And the giant,
But they can't
Big
get it figured
Show
out.
was him. But I don't know what happened. But Big Show was him. Big Show is definitely the new Andre the Giant, for a second.
Wait, you were the guy with the headliner for wrestling. You told me about him. Is he still the same dude? He was like a young guy.
Little white dude. He's the guy. He's like,
Now, why has he got to be a
he's
white
the
dude?
guy. Because he is. He's not a little black dude.
Can't just be a dude? Yeah,
No,
the little dude.
I'm tired
You
of
gotta
white people
describe
trying
him
to
like
make
that?
things colorless. Because you can't say nigger no more. I can still be racial.
hey,
and
you
I'm
can
gonna.
say it, we
I
can't.
said yes, indeedy.
Yes, indeed.
I like to use race to describe things.
So do we. We're just not allowed anymore.
Yes,
About
we
our
can't do
balls
that.
cut off.
Right. So you'd be in the plane writing, and the big stars would be in the front of the plane.
It would be.
going from arena
It
to
wasn't
arena.
him, but I knew who the guys was. It would be Triple H without a question. I think the pecking order is probably Triple H is at the top of the pile because he's married to his daughter for one. And he's just, the dude. But Undertaker very close. Jericho was very close. Stone Cold very close in terms of because they would work every goddamn day. But then it would be like, I would say 7 guys that can get on the plane with Vince and be comfortable. That weren't like, it was who else would you say? I didn't miss
got 'em all.
anybody.
No, you got 'em
Yeah,
all.
it's all of them. And the
That's
rest
about
is
it. Right.
you
Are they
know.
nervous around Vince? Because I don't know.
Not dudes like him. Dudes who can talk are not nervous around Vince. Dudes who can do a shoot interview, the Kurt Angles, the guys
what
who
it is,
can talk.
it's just, like you said, it's a very intimidating presence when you first start out until you have that confidence and have a little bit of leverage. I mean, still, of course, you're still scared of him. He's your boss. I mean, sometimes you want to kill him, but it's one of those things after a while you just got to treat him like a normal guy or else he's got so many yes men surrounding him. He's sick of yes men. So you got to sometimes just tell him,
I didn't get a harumph out of you. This coffee is too cold.
Yes, boss. Yes, boss. Thank you, sir. What about me, boss? Bad idea. Good idea. Thank you. Yeah. Hey, guys.
So that's kind of the deal with that. And you asked me before about if I could write this book within the WWE world. Because I took a step back and not working with the company, I was able to write the book the way I wanted to write it.
So this is your book.
This is my
not
book.
An association with
it doesn't even
that's
talk
beautiful.
about the WWE. It's just my time to get there. It took me 9 years to get there, and this is the journey to get there. So, which is good because if I would have written it within their system,
You'd probably
it would have
leave
been
a
all
few
WWE stuff,
and you would have left a few things out.
I remember
probably.
the day you
Yeah.
came in in 1999, like
Right. That's right. Good memory.
Because there was the whole thing was Y2
Y2O.
Y2K.
Y2K.
No,
Y2O.
Y2O.
The liquid version.
Yeah, there you go.
Y2K was the real
Y2K.
thing.
And he was Y2J, and
Right.
they got you into a thing right. They pushed him big right away because what they would do is 2 guys you would get pushed by, where they go, okay, they trying to make him big. One, if you fucked around with Rock, and if you fucked around with the Taker, would be like, okay, they trying to push him, and they put him on with the Rock right away on a word battle with the Rock, when Rock would go, it doesn't matter what you think at that time, and they put him in when the Y2J character came out. That's when they was like, damn, they gonna push this guy like.
It's
big.
funny trying to explain to kids nowadays when they ask me, what does Y2J mean? And I have to explain. The kid's like 10.
Yeah.
He doesn't know what Y2K is. So trying to explain Y2J, you just get this blank look of that makes no sense. It's like, well, it doesn't really make sense, but it would if you were like over 30. It's a great nickname if you're older.
So you got beat up by Bret Hart's
Everyone.
dad. That you did. You was in the
were you in-
basement thing.
Yeah, actually, I moved from Winnipeg
Well,
to
explain
Calgary.
the basement. That was
Bret
dungeon.
Hart's father,
The
the
dungeon.
dungeon. Yeah, all the Canadian guys got beat up.
Yeah.
They had a dungeon there. It was called. It was basically Stu Hart's basement, and it was a small little room and had a low hanging ceiling. It looked like the basement from the Texas Chainsaw Massacre, where there's these pipes everywhere. Is that Stu on the phone? I hope not.
Is that Kenny's
Passed
phone?
away.
I'm sorry.
Come on, it's live radio. We have to be professional here. But
This
yeah,
gets Kenny very upset.
If he's on the phone.
I'm ruining the show. he will have apology emails to everybody.
As he should, because he ruins
Within
everything
2
he
hours.
touches.
I'm sorry.
It'll never happen again. I went home and punished myself.
And it wasn't even a phone call. It was probably a reminder of his to think a racist thought.
I don't want that to ever die. Fucking Kenny, I love him.
You know what's funny? We're talking about Calgary. Up in Calgary, there's a friend of mine who lives up in Calgary. His name is Speewee. He imitates you guys because he listens to you all the time.
Wow.
But he imitates this guy right here.
Oh, Jimmy.
What are you talking about? Sounds like a racist thought. And I'm like, what are you talking like? He goes, oh, I listen to Opie Anthony all the time. He's imitating you guys all the way up in Canada in the middle of freaking nowhere. People are imitating you, Jimmy.
Oh, good.
Thanks.
It's fun to imitate.
Perfect.
You'll lay down, have a girl shit on you.
You married? You married, Chris?
Yes, I am.
Yeah, he's got the ring on.
How does a guy, good-looking dude like you, like I got a girl and I'm trying hard to not get married and the whole thing. Was she there during the rough times of and you're loyal to her kind of thing? She's there
Absolutely.
from the beginning.
Two things. One, she wasn't a wrestling fan. I met her in a restaurant. Two, I met her in '98 when I was still in WCW before I even really got to the, quote, I guess, to the big leagues, right? So, yeah, right from the start that she was there. It wasn't just some kind of a money-hungry gold digger. So that's kind of why I think we were able to last for a while, for as long as we have.
And a few kids now. 3 kids?
3 kids, yes, man, absolutely. We have twins, like I said, and then a 4-year-old son, too.
Right
Twins
on.
are girls or a boy?
Girls.
Twin girls?
And it's funny, yeah,
Good
because
luck with
now,
that.
like, they're only one, but the basic human instinct catches on where, like, one of them will be holding something and the other one will come and just take it for no reason. The other one cries and then she just drops it, and then they're stealing from each other. They push each other down, and they're just babies. They don't know what they're doing, but that's the basic human nature. Push someone down and steal their stuff. Yes, you see these things.
Hey, I'm looking at the book, and there's a picture of it, obviously, in the back that you weren't going to include, which I found very interesting that you wrote that, and then you did eventually bring it in. Which
Yeah,
picture?
there's obviously throughout the course of this book, Chris Benoit is a huge part of it because he was a big influence on me both professionally and personally. I met him in '92 in Calgary, and I was a fan of his from watching him. And, he was only a couple years older than me, but so he became like a big brother and a mentor, and we traveled the world together for years. This story ends in 1999. It's the story of my career, like I said, from '90 to '99. So I finished the book in May. And then in June is when all the stuff all the stuff happened with him. So I went back and I was able to go through the book, and I wanted to see like how it would read and how it would resonate, knowing that I talked so positively about this guy and so many great experiences, but then it ended off in such a horrible way. So there was a picture of him and his wife and myself and Stu Hart at Owen Hart's funeral, Stu's son. And I was going to take the picture out, but then I thought to take it out would be to suggest that they never existed, and they did exist, and this time frame happened. So I left it in there. I thought, it'd be like, having something with the Twin Towers and editing it out. Like,
Right.
Just because it ended in a bad way still doesn't mean it didn't exist. So what I did do is I wrote a foreword that just said, this is the guy that I knew between these years, because it'd be like a big black cloud hanging over this book. It's a very funny, humorous, comedic, positive story. But if you didn't address the Benoit situation, I think it would really read a little bit strange. So I was able to go through and kind of write a little thing about it. So
And it sounds crazy because every time there's something awful happens, people look back at the person or their life and go, "Wow, was there anything that indicated what was coming?" You look back on your history with him, and there's nothing you can look back on that was an indicator.
No,
right?
absolutely not. Like if I had to go somewhere, I would have left my kids with him. Like that's how much my best friend that I ever had in the business, and that's what makes it even harder. Like I have to deal with this every day. For other, I'm not saying it in a bad way, but for other people, the big story happens, and something else happens, and 2 months from now, it's kind of just, oh yeah, I remember that, the wrestler guy. For me, it's like every day of my life, I have to deal with it and try and figure out,
What do you think it was? I mean, was
dude,
it
you can't
just
think.
a moment of rage? I mean,
we'll never know. We're not wired to think that way. I mean, if you get that insane or mental problem, or it could be demon possession for all I know. I have no idea.
There were never signs?
Never. Nothing. So just, it's something we gotta deal with. So.
And he was he really helped out your career over the years.
Totally.
Man.
As
you guys were really close.
Professionally and personally.
You were close with Eddie Guerrero, too, right?
Yeah, very
and
much
he's now
so.
gone as well.
Actually dedicated the book to Eddie way early on. That one was maybe even harder in a different way because it was such a surprise and such a shock. And Eddie was such a sweet guy, man, just a good dude, and had a lot of great times with him. Just the thing about the book, I mean, I wrote a thing in the back of all the guys that are in the book that actually aren't around to check it out. There's
Owen Hart,
Brian Pillman. I mean, there's tons of guys. Wrestling, it kind of gets glossed over unless something bad happens. No one ever really hears much about the positive side of it. But it's such a difficult job because there's only a handful of people in the world that can do it at a high level. But there's millions of fans that want to see it everywhere, worldwide. So it's very mentally and physically taxing and grueling. It's a tough job.
I have to say, dude, I know, and this is the thing. It's like I'm a wrestling fan, and I mean we're not gonna gloss over because even Vince McMahon tries to give it something else because they know it's not. A 200-pound man punching another 200-pound man in the face is death.
Yeah.
But to watch them, what they are, and I'm not trying to marginalize it, they are stuntmen who can act. So they're falling, like after everything, there's a guy running in a room with some dude trying to put his dislocated back in place, like a chiropractor goes, "Hey, what you do?" I think I'd probably slipped a disc in my neck, and you just see it going crack back in. All right, tomorrow when you're on the bus, you got to do it again. But you give them a piece of paper that you wrote words on, and they fucking just go, all right, they read it. Hey, let me tell you something, motherfucker. I'm gonna knock your head off. And then they flying through the air on tables and shit. And it's a respect you should have, not on the fact that, okay, we know it's not real. You didn't really kick him in his balls.
But show business.
Yeah,
it's show business.
But it's dudes are talented.
Yeah, but there's also
talented guys.
They're also taking some real shots. Wrestling did change. Like I was watching some old wrestling. It was on cable or something, and it was beyond fake. They were barely hitting each other. But the new guys, they actually do hit each other and take some shots. Obviously not the over the top moves, but they're taking some serious.
You can make mistakes. There's a guy who's not walking now. The
draws,
mistakes, man.
There's a story in my book from when I was in Knoxville. I was practicing before the match, and I broke my arm. Literally, like I was looking at it and had this weird little divot in it. So I went to the hospital. He said, well, you got to have surgery right now. And I said, well, I just have this wrestling appearance I have to make, and he goes, okay, well, tomorrow at 7 a.m. you're getting surgery. So of course I basically snuck out of the hospital, went back to the arena, dumbest thing, put my gear on. The promoter was all like, what the fuck you break your arm for? And I was like, don't worry, I'm still going to wrestle. Okay, no problem. So then I went in the ring. I wrestled this match with a broken arm. I had aspirin in my system. I was all like whacked out. And I got cut open. I was bleeding, looked like a reject from the Carrie movie, like a bucket of blood just dumped all over me. And I'm on the floor with a broken arm, bleeding everywhere, and there's this puddle of blood, and there's like this total stereotypical redneck hillbilly. He's wearing like the overalls with the big gut hanging out, little cowboy, like goofy cowboy hat, and he might as well have like the hay straw, and he's like, that ain't real blood. And I was thinking, like,
you asshole.
Fuck. He goes, that ain't real blood, and he puts his finger in it. And he like tastes it, and he's like, "Yeah, that ain't real blood." And first, I'm like, "How gross are you? Like, how does my DNA taste?" And second of all, how can it not be real blood? I have no shirt on. What, I have a magical pump in my pants? I got a magical pump in my pants, all right. But it's like, is this blood just coming from nowhere? But I mean, that's kind of some of the stuff that you go through. But I just love, like, I just think licking the blood, like, that ain't real blood.
I know what real blood tastes like.
Yeah. Isn't anybody you fucking hate in the business, man?
Hey, dude, you know what, man? At this level, you're just a professional. You go out there. Some guys that rub you the wrong way, but it's business. It's business.
Who rubs you the wrong way? This gotta be
you want to get
not who, but what type of personality rubs you the wrong way?
Guys that take themselves too seriously, and that's a good way to ask that question, Patrice. Because at this stage of the game, like I said, I had this goal and this dream that I accomplished. I win. I'm not bitter towards anybody. Some guys are assholes. Fuck them. I don't care. I'm happy. I did what I wanted to do. But guys that take themselves too seriously, especially on this job, because this is show business and it's comedy, man. Like, just you got to have fun with it and then enjoy yourself. And it's not real.
So you hit him a little extra hard.
Well, not here, but overseas. Like when I first started going over to Japan, for example, being a foreign guy, they don't like having the foreign guys over there as much. At least they didn't used to in the early '90s. So it would be a little bit more of a fight. The first match I ever had in Japan, I wrestled this guy called Ueda, and he was a kickboxer who actually wore boxing gloves in the ring. And this was before there was MMA. It was kind of this weird mixed martial arts wrestling wrestling company, and this dude came in, man, and he wasn't pulling anything. He was kicking me and punching me, like I could see it in his eyes. You know, who's this little fucking foreign guy? So you know what? He nailed me so hard, and I was just getting the crap kicked out of me, and there was no rules in this company. It was called FMW. So I just went to the floor and I grabbed a chair and I went back in the ring, and he'd turned his back on the pretty boy, and I hit him in the head as hard as I could.
With the chair?
With the chair. I was like, fuck this. And man, you could just see him. He just like wilted and just fell down. And after that, he was very nice. Very, very easy to work with afterwards. But you just kind of had to get yourself some space and get a little respect.
Right.
Same thing in Mexico too. The foreign guys come in, they didn't like it. It was a little more of a shoot until they knew that you could actually work together. And then the point of the business is to work together. It's like improv comedy. You want to work together to put on the best show, and the more you put the other guy over, the better it is for everybody.
As the guy's about to hit you with a chair, someone yells, freeze!
Exactly. Freeze. Now you hit me with a rubber chicken.
I hate being such a giddy wrestling fan. It just bothers me, but I just love it. I just love.
Where do where do you guys hide the razor blades? I've always wanted to know that.
It's a magician's secret. A lot of guys have different places to put it, but it's an art form, man, because
they could get in the way and cut you when you don't want to be cut.
Yeah. I'm sure that's happened.
I always want to know that question.
I think I know, actually. They put it like on the thigh, like the scrotum covers it on the thigh, and they can actually right in there.
If you cut your horn off, that's just part of the business, man. That's just the way it goes.
Your forehead looks okay. You don't have the Dusty Rhodes head.
Yeah, well, that was more of a step.
When him and Abdullah the Butcher used just
the road
butter knives.
The road map on the foreheads.
Dusty, it's just hard to look at it.
Yeah. Some of the guys just took, yeah. They weren't careful. What am I trying to say? They weren't careful. That's
there
for
was
sure.
guys in Mexico because they wear masks there. They're all like cultural superheroes, like comic book heroes. Their chins would be totally scarred up, like they had a beard of scars because only their mouths are showing, so they couldn't do it under the mask. They would do their chin instead. So like these guys, like totally normal face with like this horrible goatee of scars. That sounds like a horror movie. Goatee of scars.
Did you plan for the future where you're like, look, man, I like in your contract was like, I will bleed only on pay-per-views?
No, you just do it. I mean, you're smart about it. Yeah, like some guys thought it was cool. Like, I'm gonna get bloody. I'm hardcore, and it's like, fuck, man, you're gonna look stupid. Like when you're 50, walking around with a road map on your forehead.
Did they tell you had to get bloody for this one, that one, or would it just be kind of like you said, this is a good one to get bloody on?
Like I said, it's show business, man. So it's all an elaborate show. Like I said, that's the most important thing. It's like a Shakespearean morality play for the modern era. There's a good guy, there's a bad guy, there's a confrontation, there's a denouement, and there's a finish, and then that's kind of, if Shakespeare was alive today, he'd be writing wrestling shows.
Do you have a favorite match ever?
Got a lot of them. Probably WrestleMania 19 against Shawn Michaels in Seattle at the Enormo Dome or whatever the hell it was called. That was a good one because a lot of people said it was the best match on the show, and at WrestleMania is like the Super Bowl. So if you want to get out there and put on a show, that's the time to do it, And it was just cool to be at that level, especially all these, working at a kid's birthday party when I first started, getting paid a hot dog and a glass of orange juice, to being held up on the side of the road by a chick in Mexico City in the middle of nowhere. I picked her up. She was going to take me to a party. Her and her brother
held up like Rob.
Yeah, Rob.
Banditos.
She was going to take me to a party. So we're driving. Yeah, it wasn't sexy. We're driving to this party, and her and I are making out in the back, and it's like, this is great. This is me a party, and this girl's hot, and I noticed it's getting more and more desolate until we're finally like in the middle of nowhere. Like, dude, there's nothing. Like Mexico City, murder capital of the world.
Holy shit.
So I go, where's this party at? And the guy's like, the party is right here, and the gun right there, man. And if you've ever seen the beginning of the James Bond films where you see those grooves on the inside of the gun,
yeah.
I never knew what that was until I actually saw the grooves on the inside of the gun sticking in my face.
You said a girl?
Like a guy and a girl.
Oh, I thought you just got robbed by a girl.
Well, even worse. Yeah. Right.
No girl do shit to me. Bitch, put your little pink gun away before I eat your pussy.
Dude,
I'm glad you added a man to that motherfucking shit.
Yeah, it was brutal, man. As they're driving away, I still have the taste of this girl's lipstick on my mouth, and I'm thinking, this bitch just robbed me, and I bought her dinner as well because I met her in a restaurant, so I really got screwed on both accounts. But when something like that happens, you're like, I'm going to take this and use it in a positive way because there ain't no chick that's going to rob me, and then I'm not going to make it as a result. So she probably has 12 kids in TJ somewhere, and I'm here, with you guys, so I win.
Plug in Alliance Tale,
Around the World in Spanish. Yeah, I was showing Anthony the
back to the
picture.
book,
yeah.
right?
The picture of when I was the Phoenix.
Phoenix?
Go in the
That's
color. Go in the
hysterical,
color. The color insert. I had no gigs going on, and nothing was happening for me. So I decided I need a gimmick. I need a fancy gimmick. So what I did was I found this Egyptian mask, and I thought I'm going to be the Phoenix. So I got this goofy mask, and then I glued all these like feathers on it, and then I went and bought some aluminum poles from a hardware store and soldered them together in the shape of wings. Then I wrapped a bunch of spandex around it and got like a bunch of sparkly sequins and stuff. And then I thought like, this is it. This is going to be my ticket to the big time. So, like, if you see, like, the picture is like the wings are crooked, the mask is like not even. It sucks.
You got mangy feathers on there.
It's terrible, and I didn't have money for straps, so I stapled some spandex straps on to the contraption. Then I go outside to like where I'm going to take pictures, like I guess like in an open field, like near a forest, which apparently is where phoenixes are from, and. As I'm ready to take the picture, the wind starts blowing, and they blow the wings off my back, and then I'm chasing the freaking wings down the field.
But must have looked
I
like
actually
a complete ass.
Totally, and I mean, I look like an ass in that picture. I sent that out as promo shots. Book Chris Jericho as the Phoenix, and they just had nothing going on, just grasping at straws. So to finally continue to take each step to get to where I got to, it was a long process, man, and an embarrassing one at that.
Man, yeah.
You're also dressed as a liger.
Super Liger.
Oh my God, Super Liger.
Super Liger. There's a guy in Japan who's
How did you ever make it?
How did you ever make it? That's what I ask myself that every day.
I do think that about myself with radio and stuff sometimes.
Sometimes,
right?
you look back
like,
or hear some of the old shows and
what
go,
was I fucking
what the hell
thinking?
was I doing?
I see a picture of you as the Super Liger. You want to explain this one?
It can't be a
This
clown
is
album.
1997 in
Japan.
Tokyo Dome.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Jushin Liger is a legendary guy there. He wears an outfit like that, and it's one of those things in Japan. People are very. It's a weird culture because something like Liger is very popular. He has horns and it's a very big mask. So they're going to bring me into New Japan, which is the big company like the WWE of Japan, to be his evil doppelganger, the Super Liger. So I had the same outfit that he had. Now I've never wrestled in New Japan. I wrestled in Japan a lot, but I always wanted to go there. I was so excited. And the first match I had was in the Tokyo Dome, 75,000 people, huge match. Super Liger. It'd be like being Bulk Hogan, Hogan's evil twin or something like that level of star.
Bulk Hogan.
Yeah, Bulk Hogan. So I show up there and they give me this costume the night before the show, and it's literally like a hard spandex wetsuit. Like I can't really move, but I'm like, okay, I'll just do my best. They give me this mask that the eyes are covered with red mesh. So not only can you not see through the mesh, but it's red. So you can't see a damn thing. Then the mouth holes are the size of like a pin. So you can't breathe either, and you can't see. So then I go to the Tokyo Dome, and the first thing I notice is that all the lights above the ring are red. I have red mesh over my eyes. All I'm seeing is red. It's like a red blur for what I can see. I had like the stinker. We call them abortions in wrestling. It was an abortion. It was the worst match ever. The first move, I'm supposed to jump on the top rope and do this wacky kick, fall right on my face. Now, when I fell down off the ropes, there's 75,000 Japanese people. Now, they don't say anything when they watch the matches. They study. But when you fall down off the top rope, they all started laughing. It was like 79. Super Raga suck. And it's just like, oh my God, this is terrible. And I can't move. And I feel like I'm like walking in cement. And the mask is just horrible match. Bombed huge. One of the worst, most embarrassing experiences I've ever had. Go to the back room. I'm supposed to come back the next month as Super Liger for a big 3-week tour. As I take the costume off, they're putting it in a bag.
Yeah, you
And I go, what are you doing? Yeah, we're keeping it for safekeeping, please. So that was it. I was done. I bombed huge. Liger was furious because it was his legacy. And the next month I came back as Jericho because I'd already been booked, but they didn't want me to be Super Liger. But that was it. I was losing to everybody. Finally had a match, had a great match, finally. And the boss was this guy called Choshu. And he was in the back room. And as I walked back, he looked at me. He's like, oh, you, Chris Jericho? I said, yes. He goes, you same Super Liger? Yes. Jericho good, Super Liger bad. And I said, I think Super Liger is dead. And he said, yes, I think so. Good idea. So it was the debut and the retirement of Super Liger on the same night.
That's hilarious. I mean, God bless you. You were trying all sorts of different things.
Whatever you could do, man. Like I said, yeah,
make
nothing,
your mark.
Well, that's the thing, and you guys know, being in show business, any form of it, you got to pick up the phone and call people. No one's going to call you.
Right.
And Opie, excuse me, if you don't think that he's going to be an actor, look at the front cover of that book. Look at the bottom right thing where he looks like Barry Bonds. And look at his little skinny body now. Look at his body of I want to be a wrestler bad body, and his fucking fuck wrestling, I'm going to look good body.
I'm actually 112 pounds right now.
Yeah, that's actually that's a good question.
Patrice is making me sound like I just came out of a concentration camp or something.
No, like you can see that it's athletic, but you see that picture in the bottom right.
Let's ask him, Chris. Like, obviously, you go back to wrestling anytime, and like the rumors are strong, you're going back there. Whatever. If you don't want to deal with that, that's fine. But what would you like to do? You've done the band thing, you've done the wrestling thing.
Well, I mean,
if it was up to you, you're now an author. Do you want to be an actor?
Yeah, I've done some stuff. I was in Android Apocalypse. It won the Oscar for best movie a couple years ago. I did a couple movies, which are cool. I mean, I enjoyed that experience. It's like anything else, though. You got to. I mean, obviously, unless you're like The Rock and strike it big,
make
really
some of that
huge.
rock money.
Well, and that's a rare thing, to get that big so quickly. You got to work your way up. And I've done some stuff. I did a couple plays last year, which was a lot of fun. I worked with the Groundlings for a year. Did shows with them, which is a great comedy troupe. Will Ferrell was a Groundling, and Phil Harper was a
Harmon,
Groundling.
I think, too. They put out a lot of really fucking funny
Lisa
people.
Kudrow, Shara Terry, Kristen Wiig. So it was great to work with those guys. I mean, writing the book was great. For me, I needed a break from wrestling, man. I was burned out mentally after 15 years wrestling. But the thing is, it's also wrestling a show business boot camp. You learn a little bit about everything. It really helps you to train for all types of show business. So I could go back to wrestling, and I would go back to wrestling on my own terms, have some fun, because it really is an open book. It's an open canvas to go out there and do what you want to do.
Don't make us bring Sam in here.
Would you do TNA?
Hold on.
What's going on?
Sam, what do you know about Chris Jericho?
You mean as far as him returning?
Yeah.
Well,
He's a huge wrestling fan.
the Save Us 222 promos that have been running for like a month and a half. A lot of people think that it's got to be the return of Chris Jericho.
We got to call you out a little bit, Chris. Come on.
I think Sam's got one. They're very reminiscent of the Millennium Countdown that counted down to the life in 1999.
What is the 222?
And nobody really knows for sure.
That's it. We're watching on YouTube
Maybe
right now.
February
It's the first
22nd.
first time I've ever seen this.
Oh, you haven't seen this, huh, Chris?
No, I don't know anything about this.
They run these spots on all of their shows.
Wait a minute, Sam. I'm trying to see where this fucking tags into Chris Jericho.
It's exactly like the old ones
Yes,
from back in 1999.
But like he said, no one, like, it might be for some other dude, Computer Man. Some fucking guy. Like, why is this? Why would he bring himself back like that?
It's the 2.0 version.
That's a gimmick. Computer Man.
You know, laptop in the corner.
Yeah, like I said, I would go back to wrestling on my terms. I wouldn't give up any of the stuff I've been doing.
You don't want to blow up your big announcement.
I swear.
Sam, give us more.
Tell us,
Make him
Sam.
uncomfortable.
This is not convincing.
Hold
You
on.
gotta say, come on,
Sam's
man.
good, though.
I'm
Sam
just saying,
knows this shit. Make him more uncomfortable.
And stop trying to be coy. Just say what you fucking
Hold
gotta
on,
say,
move the
man.
mic away from your face. I'm going to study you as. Go ahead, Sam. Tell people what you know.
If it's not Chris Jericho's return, then every single internet wrestling fan is going to be extremely disappointed. Aside from that, on Lance Storm's website, who's another wrestling friend of Chris Jericho, Lance Storm said that it was Chris Jericho already.
Why don't you throw us a bone? You know, all these
See,
wrestlers.
here's the thing.
You know what he did?
Here's
You
the
know
thing.
why? Wait.
He just drank the water.
He took a nervous sip.
He just took the nervous
You
sip.
liar! I saw that. He took a fucking nervous sip.
He's nervously sipping water.
Sam.
Damn.
I don't want to do it because
Sam.
You want to kick
And
his
he's
ass?
looking at Sam like, I'm going to fuck this rusty-haired Negro up.
The thing is, I mean, how great of
Who is this albino giving away my information?
Fucking Aborigines. I just, all the sites listen to us. So you might as well do the big announcement right here.
anything. It's funny. The point is, how good of a deal is this for me to get all of this free publicity? Because people are getting mad at me now. You were supposed to be back on Raw last week. You were supposed to do the pay-per-view. I paid my money. It's like, dude, I never said I was going to be back. And even if I was coming back, I wouldn't say anything. I'm a magician. You have secrets. You have things you want to do.
He is drinking.
I think nowadays I have muscle milk. If I drink one of these, it's going to suddenly make me get big
It's
again.
just for protein. It's That's nothing.
Of course. But that's one of those things. I think nowadays people know everything so quickly. You know, they can go on the internet and everybody finds stuff out so quickly. When I was a wrestling fan, I didn't know shit. All I knew was what I saw on TV, and that was the magic of it.
Now there's spoilers and speculation.
Shit.
I bet you are,
of course,
Sam.
man.
Thanks,
But that's one of those things.
I guess we're not going to be surprised anymore.
But the thing is, everyone thinks they know, but no one really knows for sure. And that's the way it should be. It's like going to a movie. I haven't seen Saw 4 yet. I don't want to know what happens. I want to see it as it unfolds on the screen.
This is the political turn. He's good at it.
I'm very good at it.
Sam's right.
He was dead the whole movie.
Sam's probably got more.
No, you son of a bitch!
You probably got more clues.
Oh wait, Sam's got more clues. I was looking through your garbage and you wrote somebody. Wait till you see this 222 thing I'm doing.
Go ahead, Sam.
It's going to fool everybody.
Sam, I don't know anything else. I just know what I read. I don't like spoiling things either.
Yeah.
I like wrestling for the magic of wrestling.
For the show business aspect, right?
Sam, hello, it's Vince McMahon. You know, I heard you on the radio today, blowing up our spot. We're trying to keep it secret, and you're being a blabbermouth. I want to hire you just so I can fire you.
Pal, it's not my information.
You're fucked.
Chris, just so you know a little more, WWE sent him a real belt,
A
for his
champion
birthday.
belt, yeah.
The real one.
Really?
Yeah.
Why is that?
With the
'Cause
spinning thing and
Because
everything.
he's such a huge fan.
Are you sick or
Talking about wrestling on the radio.
Make-A-Wish Foundation. That's what they did.
Yeah.
That's why he's talking so much. He has some little white Negro dementia that won't allow him to shut the fuck up.
He doesn't have much. He doesn't have much time left. He wants to get it all out while he can.
I feel him. Damn, that nervous shit fucked me up right there. I was following Chris until he took a goddamn sip.
Nervous. You're like Andrew Dice Clay years ago with the Fozzie gimmick.
We were letting you be, but then it's getting, all right, enough.
No, honestly, I mean, everybody's asking about it. Everyone's talking about it. I've been doing this book tour for the last week and a half, and everybody wants to know. But that's the good thing about it, man. It's the speculation of it. People are thinking. It's a surprise. It's anticipation.
Yeah,
so
stop looking at it now. Trying to look for clues in there.
I know.
See, everyone. It's like Paul is dead of wrestling. People are finding clues,
Little clues.
like I am the walrus type stuff.
But you walk out with your book. It's going to be perfect.
That's right. Hit some people over the head with it. Amen.
Can you sign Sam's chair?
Of course I can.
Is that from a match?
No, that's not from a match. I went to a convention like 3 years ago and decided to bring a chair, and since then I've been bringing it to...
Getting it signed. No, seriously, how did you get the belt, and why? And why did they send you a belt?
They just sent it to me because I talk about wrestling on the show all the time, and I think they just enjoy
So
the
they're help
publicity.
He was the only one that stood by the gimmick, the Vince getting blown up in the limo gimmick. like we went through the videotape and we're just saying, like, Sam, look, you could see that there's investigators on scene. And like he was selling it better than anybody.
All right, so he's special.
and
Yes,
for the-
he's special.
That's why I got the belt.
With the fake leg that
I get
falls
it now.
out of the limo just before it blows up.
Very subtly, but very purposely placed. The leg comes out, the leg goes in. The
It
leg
was
comes out,
hysterical. And then it said the FBI was investigating, but then when the FBI said, hey, we got nothing to do with this, they came up with what?
I think it was the FIC.
The FIC.
The Federal
Investigation Commission.
And you, but you got
And the guy that was the detective, he was like all buffed up and everything. Like he was one of the guys that wanted to be a wrestler, but he kind of wasn't up to it yet.
That used to always make me laugh. Like a wrestler gets hurt in the ring, and then the
paramedics
come
come
out
in.
and they're ripped on
And
their
they're all
uniforms. They're like,
fucking
oh,
huge
okay.
arms.
Boy, I wonder what's going to happen with the paramedics in a minute or two
This
here.
is why you have to love a wrestling fan or wrestling fans that know it. Is that Vince was going with that bullshit, and then Benoit happened, and he just said, "This shit's over."
Nah.
And wrestling now is back. Everybody healed.
People didn't go, oh, wait a
People didn't
minute.
go, it's fucking done. I'm done with wrestling. Oh my god! It's just like, yeah, we know, man. You can't.
Then all of a sudden
It
he
was
had
like,
a
you know,
love child or something.
Yeah, it was like fucking crazy.
That's what I'm saying.
Yes.
It's a form of entertainment that either you get it or you don't. And people that get it, they understand it. They have fun with it. But people that don't, I mean, it really is like the stepchild of entertainment, especially in Hollywood and stuff. It's like wrestling. What? They're a bunch of Neanderthals. They can't actually put a sentence together. Every rapper has a movie, or every rapper does a TV show. Heaven forbid that in wrestling you go to these things. People just don't understand it the same way.
Well,
Could you not say rapper with so much venom as if you're
Rapper.
You rappers.
There aren't just people that get it and don't get it. There's people in between that get lost in this void. If you could find that clip of that young gentleman in the stands.
Oh yeah, we can play that. Can
yeah.
we take a leak first? Do you
I
have to
gotta
leave,
piss.
Chris?
No, man, I'm cool.
All right, we're gonna play the crying wrestling fan
This guy takes
Where are
it
we
a
looking
little
at?
too seriously.
after the break because we got to take
Yeah.
leaks. We all
Leak
like
break.
Yeah, we like to take leaks together in the bathroom.
I like that cross swords, man. That's fun. We can do that now. We're buds. We've known each other for
We
years.
call it the Larry
Just
Craig
grab-
challenge.
What we like doing is lining up at the urinal and holding the guy's cock to your right.
That's right.
You just point it. Sometimes you piss on his leg.
Spewy. The guy imitates you. It's not Jimmy. He's imitating you.
Because I thought I was imitating Jimmy.
No, he's gonna say that. You hold the cock to the right.
And it wasn't the voice. It wasn't the voice. It was what you said.
Yeah, that's right.
And we hold cocks not with hands. We hold them between our upper lip and nose, like funny fake mustaches.
You're nestling them. That's not holy. That's nestling.
It's not fun anymore. Jimmy always takes the fun out of the.
Jeez,
the
yeah, you
homo
just
breaks.
made us feel bad.
Yeah.
So
Made
real.
us feel dirty.
No, it just brings a personal touch to it that we're not
certainly
comfortable
does.
with.
Speaking of personal touch, let's all pee.
All right, Opie and Anthony, Chris Jericho, Patrice O'Neal, and a lot of fans on the
We
bleachers today.
certainly do.
We do,
A few
yeah.
girls too.
There's some pretty girls out there.
Yes, 1, 2, 3. I see 4 chicks.
Hey,
Nice.
anybody working the crowd to see if they have anything for
5.
the show today? One of these people might have something for the show today, Chris. You never know.
Okay, well,
It's Opie and
they'll
Anthony.
certainly add more to it than I did.
It's one of Chris Jericho's songs right here, Enemy by Fozzy. Are you on, Patrice? You there?
Yeah.
Drop something.
Chris Jericho in studio, A Lion's Tale, his book, Around the World in Spandex. Chris Jericho.
What?
Yes.
Yeah, Around the World in Spandex.
Oh, I tried to see them.
Around the World as the Super Liger. But you're doing a book signing, Chris? We should get that info out. Does someone
Yeah.
have it? I don't have it. All right, I do have it in front of me here. Where are you going to be today? At Borders on Broadway.
On Broadway, yeah, right downtown in Manhattan here.
100 Broadway in Manhattan at 12:30. Chris will be signing copies of A Lion's Tale
Yes.
Until what time?
until they stop coming, right?
That's right. That's right. Until everybody is satisfied.
What a
Does it like
soldier
we
you are.
do. Like Jimmy.
Guaranteed.
Everyone gets it
Satisfied.
signed.
That's right.
I have them line up, and I sign 10, 12 books, and then I go back to my limousine.
Yeah.
That's all
That would
you
be
need.
great. Have a huge line of people, and then just have a security guy put a cone behind the fifth guy.
But that's the thing. It really is like working at a club. Like when you have an autograph signing, sometimes you show up and there's 600 people there. Sometimes you
Yep.
show up and there's 6. You just never can tell. But if there's 6 and you got to sit there for 2 hours,
Dude.
I'm best friends with everybody. I'm writing recipes in their book.
Dude, we've been down this road.
What was that, Virgin Records, I think?
We put out a CD
Tower.
back in the day. It's 10 years ago when we were up in Boston, and some of the CD signings were all day, 6 to 8 hours, no joke.
Wow.
Yeah, it was crazy. And then we did. It was Tower Records,
Tower.
downtown Boston, and the line was maybe 20 people. And you just nailed it. We're sitting there like, so where are you from? Like learning everything about
Exactly.
Because you don't want the line to totally die. You're hoping people are going to get on the back of the line before this guy leaves.
That's right. It's like working at a club. If there's no one in the club, you still want to have a line so that people think it's happening.
Yeah.
You know, when I was in Knoxville, when I was wrestling there in '94, they sent us to a furniture store, and there was like first signing, and the guy paid $75 each for me and my partner Lance. So we had to sit there for 2 hours, no matter what. And there was nobody there, but there was this little group of kids who were standing around, and they're like, "We thought you were supposed to be famous wrestlers. You guys are nobody. There's nobody here. Now go for 2 hours here." And they're like, "Shut up, kid. Get out of here."
The worst is when you sign something, and then 5 minutes later, the same person comes back through the line. Because I wanted to know if we could take a picture. That one didn't come out.
Yeah, then you know that you're in trouble.
Motherfucker.
When you start seeing the same people, then
Or
it's
they
time to wrap it up.
acknowledge like I noticed that the line's really short, so I figured, what the hell? I'll get some other things signed.
Yeah,
Like,
that's
oh,
right.
great,
That's right.
thanks.
Yeah, there's nobody here,
That-
so I
yeah.
thought I'd just hang out for a
Yeah,
bit.
thanks, buddy.
You
Thanks,
just
pal.
babble.
Is it-
Like
We're not feeling bad about ourselves already.
babble
Thanks.
about everything to the guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
Everything.
sure. No, come back here. Hey,
Yeah,
grabbing
what's
his arm.
going on?
Hey, come.
Yeah, so you've been big fans of the show, huh?
Is it any way to be famous without doing this stuff? Like, meaning, like, you do a movie or you do your book, and is there any way to just do this without doing what he's doing? I seen you on TV, you're here.
You gotta-
then
who
to
are
the
you
bookstore.
asking, me or
You
him?
gotta,
You got to promote.
you gotta promote it. You know, that's the thing. Especially with something like this book. I mean, it's your life story, and I worked so hard on it to get it right. You want to take it to the streets, and it really is a grassroots thing.
This is just a lazy man's question because it's just when
Yeah,
I see
Patrice doesn't
people
wanna
do-
work
When I
hard.
see people do publicity, it's like right now it's amazing to me that I saw him on TV and he has the same clothes he was on in Good Morning. And
I have one suit.
And you're fucking disco dancing with the lady this morning.
Oh,
and
that's
he
right.
probably
She
did
was
something
hot.
there. That was the traffic girl too, by the way.
Oh, man.
And then
He was Dance
he was dancing
Friday-ing?
with you know,
With Jill Nicolini?
Yeah, Nicolini, and he's a nice guy too because he's not a hunk of shit because he did the dance and like I'm never gonna be invited on Ellen DeGeneres again because. She's doing the thing, and I'm like, you goofy bitch.
They weren't invited on anything again.
So I'm just wondering, is there any way to just do something and drop it, and then they go, hey, man, he got a book out, and you just go, fuck all day signing, get out of here, I can sleep.
I think if you're like A+ on the list, like 50 Cent or Kanye or somebody like that, you probably don't have to. But when you're guys at my level, living on the F list, you got to do what you can to get out there and make it work.
Stephen King probably doesn't have to, but they all do a
Patrice
little
is
bit.
looking at me like,
Yeah, they
come
do.
on, man.
Stop your bullshit, man. Wrestling fans is like,
You know what else
zillions.
too, though? I mean, this sounds kind of really like sucking up, but I like meeting the fans. It's fun. You guys probably have the same thing because
absolutely.
you're on the other side of the mic and the
Let's
other side of the
say
screen. It's
most
fun
of
to
them.
meet up. Well, some of them are rude.
The fucking ones with tits I like meeting.
Don't you
Those are the
notice
fans
that
I
some
like.
people are some people are just rude and people just don't have manners?
Yeah.
You notice
Yeah, they
that
don't.
they come up and go, listen, I don't watch the shit and I don't even really know who you are, but will you sign this? Well, gee, thanks. Let me do you a favor for just sticking it to me.
Best one.
Yeah.
It's like, dude, I don't really listen. I listened a couple times. I'm really not a big fan. Could you just sign this?
Yeah.
Go fuck yourself.
Yeah, exactly. Gee, thanks, asshole.
Yeah.
Hey,
That's what I want to hear.
I don't even know if I should talk to you anymore. Your dad was a Ranger?
Yes, he was.
I didn't even know that until
Yes, he was,
today, man.
Yes, he was.
Were you a hockey player growing up?
Yeah, I just wasn't very good, but I grew up actually.
Was he Ron Duguay?
A little bit earlier than that. He played for the Rangers from 70 to 75. And I used to remember sitting in the garden when I was about 3, and I was really mad because my dad would never look up and wave at me when he was playing his games. And I thought, come on, Dad. He's fighting Dave Schultz or whatever. And I'm like, Dad.
Was he a fighter?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, geez, look at his
it up.
nose.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, who
His
was your
bridge of
dad?
his nose is in his ear.
His name was Ted Irvin.
Turner? I didn't know that.
Oh,
Yeah,
Jesus,
but
he
not
was
only
a
that,
tough guy.
but he also scored
Wow.
too. He used to get 20 goals a year. He was like one of the original power forwards. Had he come around 10 years later, he would have made millions.
Are you a fan of any other sport?
No, water polo.
But no basketball. See, I want to know basketball.
Yes,
like
who
you're a
knows?
basketball fan, right? Like it's like
Acting chop.
I'm a sports. Yeah,
I guess I'm
absolutely.
trying to find out in sports terms of like say basketball, football. Was your father Peyton Manning or was he a lineman?
No. He wasn't Peyton Manning. I'm trying to put.
How many years did he play?
He played 10 years.
Oh,
so he had a pretty solid
career right there.
What's the dude's name? What's Rondé's brother? Tiki Barber? Not at
he's-
that level, but kind of someone that's that.
He's like Rondé's. He's Rondé. Barber, like.
People know the
Okay.
name. And, kind of a great player, but not a superstar.
But if you're a hockey fan, you know your father.
Whenever I come to New York, man, people still ask me, how's your father doing? You go to the garden, it's the same security guards, ushers. I remember your father, Teddy Irvin, and it's like, how old are you, man? He's like 90? But it was the early 70s. But people in this city, in New York City, are they're such loyal sports fans. It's amazing. They remember everything about my dad and about my career and everything in between.
I'm an Islander fan, so
I don't know if it's worse.
we're
like
supposed to hate you guys.
I don't know if it's worse not knowing your father, which I didn't, or having this "please, Daddy, love me." Often disappointed face that he has. Like, this is my dad, but my dad's paying me no fucking attention. Or is it better just to be alone? Like, shit, I don't have nobody to relate to, so I'm gonna just look at this camera.
Who my daddy?
Who my fucking father? I don't
Are you
give
my
a fuck.
daddy? Daddy?
I don't give a fuck. I'm going to play basketball, but this face of the constant pain on his face.
The years of
Look at the
toil.
look of.
I've
just
used
like,
that anger to fuel me to this day.
I'm gonna show you, Dad. I'm gonna go in a basement of an old man and be beat to death every
That's right. I'll
day.
teach you a lesson. My pain is your pain.
Damn.
I actually played in a celebrity. Christopher Reeve used to have a celebrity game at the Garden. I played 4 years with it. It was great. But the one year I asked my dad,
Oh, Jimmy.
my dad can come.
Jimmy's itching.
I don't
Don't
know.
fuck around with Chris. He was a good dude, man.
Yeah, why would
I
I?
can see your wheels spinning.
Not at
Jimmy's
all.
itching.
The third annual blink off.
No, terrible.
What?
Oh my God!
Terrible.
Everybody's going.
You know
in
what?
a
Christopher Reeve in a wheelchair could still kick your ass.
Not a big deal. Good for him.
A great answer. I thought you were supposed to be a comedian. That wasn't funny. But anyways,
I'd have
I
gone
have a
more on
story
that.
about it, you jackass. Don't interrupt my stuff. I can't even tell a story now. It's been built up so much.
He's really mad at me.
Well, it's good. He was a friend of mine. You don't talk shit about someone's friend like that.
Yeah, well, that's true, but he was a very famous guy, and, you know, we poke fun at it. You know, we do it. It's not that it's nice, but we do it.
Ladies and gentlemen,
but
Jimmy
Owen-
gets his ass kicked.
Owen A.
right after these
Opie
words.
and Anthony, the host of the show, your bosses,
Yes.
are being respectful.
Bosses.
Well, I
And
wasn't
you
being-
got to cross the line when I said don't say it.
Well, I wasn't being disrespectful.
Yes, you were. It's very disrespectful.
You didn't say
I'll
you
be
were friends
honest with
him.
you. I was this close to being disrespectful,
But you
but
didn't.
Jimmy jumped on it first.
But no, you
which
didn't
is
say.
horrible.
First of all, you didn't say you were friends with him. You just said you played in a tournament
Dude,
with
I'm
him.
just kidding with you, man.
I was actually going to go with
You say what you
I
want.
could see your wheels spinning when he
Yeah.
said that. I was going to go on that.
See, I threw you a softball.
See, I was going to go on that part.
I would
but,
love to see him put Jimmy in some type of finishing role.
You know what it is? You know what
And
the
Jimmy can bend at least 3 times.
Here's the finishing hole.
that
Patrice.
whole.
Oh, that's the finish.
No,
That
we're
whole
not
crowd.
not punching him because Jimmy doesn't have any bones in his face. So it's just your fist
That
would only
whole
go to the
crowd
other
out
side.
there, though, let me tell you, that whole crowd out there would have stood up if you hit Jimmy and said, "Leave him alone."
Please don't do that. Nobody would have helped me. Of
course
Dude,
not.
we're
He's
not
really
going to
mad
do
at me,
that.
though.
No.
You really are, but it's okay. I didn't know he was a friend of yours. But
No, my fury is over. I'm happy. I'm happy. We love you. We love each other.
And I am a comedian. You didn't think it because it wasn't a funny line, but I am one. Good.
No, he feels
I
bad.
was laughing at the
Oh, let's
awkwardness.
shake hands on air. There you go.
They're
The hands
all
are
right.
shaking.
That was,
Fine. We're buddies.
They're
again.
okay now.
That was a
okay.
little awkward.
That was, it was awkward.
But it was
what are we
beautifully
supposed to do?
awkward, though.
You got to stick up for your buds, right? I mean, that's just the way it is.
Not really. Not
Not these.
no, we don't.
Chris,
Stick
not
up for
these
each other.
guys. Not these guys.
We're a bunch of miscreants. We're a bunch of heathens.
You
in
should go
here.
down the comedy cell and see how these guys treat each other.
We're brutal.
It's amazing.
We're just a bunch of scumbags.
It
We're
is
just a bunch
amazing.
of scumbags. That's what we are. We fucking nothing is sacred.
We just kind of took this conversation and took it to a screeching halt, didn't we? Let's talk about this. Does anybody?
This is beautiful.
How was your cock
Screeching
when you
halt,
peed?
much like.
Did you hold each other's cocks when you peed? Patrice was holding mine. It felt really nice.
It's so funny to see guys change the subject. Let me tell you something. Let me explain something about the word inappropriate in men should not fucking exist. Only look, you go out there, you might make a mistake where it's like it's personal to you, and I understand, but it's like inappropriate. You can't have it. The only time you should be inappropriate, the word used by a man, is like you ever had to shit. You feel like you had to shit, but you just had to pee, and you're sitting down with your fucking dick tucked between your legs, feeling like a girl, and you're just looking around going,
Buffalo
I
Bill.
feel like a bitch. This is inappropriate. Other than that, you should be able to take, because we were talking about earlier, it's context. You gotta try a Christopher Reeve joke, even though it's just. I understand what you're saying, but I gotta stick up with Jimmy on this one, just because this is what we do, and it fell flat and it was awful.
But if you're gonna
But I know
bomb,
you
but it's not a joke. If you're gonna throw one out there, you gotta throw a good
it's
one.
a friend. Jimmy didn't know it was a friend. His.
But hold on. What do you mean you had to throw out a good one? That wasn't a bad one off the cuff. It wasn't that vicious even. It was. I didn't realize it was a friend of yours, but it was like it wasn't that vicious. It was like.
Let's play some tape of some real vicious shit.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but it wasn't done.
Let's get vicious.
It was just done in the moment, and he was a very famous guy. I mean, it was,
I didn't mean that, asshole. Don't find it.
Look at this fucking asshole right here.
Hey, we're still waiting for.
He loves this. He's not
just got a
saying-
big smile.
Look at him. He's like a godfather.
His hands are together like.
You fucking asshole!
Don
If
and
we were
Opie.
talking about, like right now, going, hey, it takes 1,000,000 years for the energy of the sun deep down to come out. Enough of this. As Jimmy's getting ready to get raped by Chris Jericho,
And I will rape him. I will sodomize
Opie's
him.
sitting there. Look
He's
at how his
just like,
fingers are together.
Excellent. They've turned on each other. Let the animals tear each other apart. You were talking about the nervous sip from the water
was-
glass. That says much more right there.
Nah, it was an amazing moment. It really was.
Oh,
See?
it was genius.
Well,
That will make the best of show.
there's other things involved with that. That's what makes it amazing. So,
like what?
Excellent. That's great. He's just fucking sitting there loving it.
it just whatever.
No,
What's the matter?
He's so
No, something I was going to bring up, which ties everything in. Your mom's a quadriplegic.
That's
so
right.
that's why he's a little sensitive.
How
to shit.
funny do you think you are now, motherfucker?
Wow.
So now you feel bad, don't you? I told you not to cross the line.
No, but I talk about suicide. My friends have committed suicide. It's like as a subject, you look at something like that. You don't ever want to, but that was something that obviously hit you hard for that reason. But you can't
That's
look at
why-
me like I'm being a dick on purpose because I'm not.
This is hits very close to home, obviously. So when
Okay.
you went there, I was like, wow, this is gonna be interesting. That's
you know
all I'm
something?
saying.
Let me say,
Had you
my
said-
father's a quadriplegic too.
Well, he's
He's been dead for a few years.
Chris.
His limbs don't fucking work.
But that's funny. That's funny.
No, that's bullshit.
funny.
That's bullshit. You're mad
That's
at me.
not bullshit.
It
That's
is.
funny.
It was very funny.
No, but I'm not offended as a guy who had to live with it. I'm offended as a comedian. That was just a bad joke.
A third annual blink off was not fucking bad. Look at Anthony's killing. I respect his opinion.
And that's what made it weird, because I'm laughing because I thought that was funny.
It was funny.
It's just the third
So I got
annual blink
Patrice.
off. And what was funny about it, I'll tell you, explain. It's the word blink.
And a blink off will never happen. And I got Patrice and Anthony to laugh at that. That's
Guys,
all it
listen,
was.
this conversation is just going nowhere. For me.
I know.
You know, if you want me to continue to participate, we know the story now. Let's just move along and have some fun and talk about cocks and stuff.
Oh shit. Oh no, we've reached this point. Oh my god.
Like, listen to the silence.
I will close this part of my. Had you said to me,
no.
look, this is the situation.
I
this is how
shouldn't
knew-
have to. There's certain things that just aren't funny.
See, okay, well then
To
you're-
me.
Well, but
me.
again, I'm not a mind reader, so if you told me that, I would have certainly been
I
respectful.
said don't cross the line. How much money? I said don't say it. I can see your wheel spinning.
We were already in the middle of it. Had you set it up like that, I'm just telling you, it would have been different.
yeah.
How much sugar in those muscle milks?
Zero.
My mother's diabetic, and so am I.
Zero.
I don't want that fucking sugar.
Man, you know, people are listening to this show just getting burnt, like they're getting a buzzkill. They want to have some fun on this.
No, they're fucking Chris, they're fucking vultures, man. Our audience are fucking vultures. Look at the smiling, grinning faces.
He
on these
doesn't like me. I
cretins
know he
out there.
doesn't like me, and I know as a jock he wants to punch me. That's what they do. I get it.
No.
I get it.
I'm smart. I go and wire your car so when you get downstairs.
I don't have a car.
Do you have a car?
downstairs, but
Yeah,
no,
okay.
just wire Club Soda Kenny. He's stupid.
Wire him.
Oh, good. All right, I got the approval of the crowd. All right.
I hope he punches you in the mouth so they get some type of meat to him. So they swell up like it's some Botox instead of those thin bird lips you have now.
You just never know what's going to happen.
Just punch him in places, punch him in his arm so it gets muscular.
But dude, I'm not mad at you anymore. I'm over it. But your feelings are hurt.
You're really not. You're not a good psychologist. My feelings are not hurt. No, I'm not.
But you got a different look on your face now, though.
Well, Jimmy, I'm not going to be phony about it. It's
Well,
like
don't be phony. Don't be defensive. Just move
Jimmy
on,
can hold
man.
a
It's
grudge
cool.
like Simon Wiesenthal.
I'm only irritated
It's a Dennis
that
Miller
he
joke.
said like
Simon Wiesenthal.
I was telling him I was being respectful. Like,
Yeah.
had I known that situation, I would have been respectful of it. I really would have been for anybody. But what he's saying, but I told you not to. Like, that's what's bugging me. Is he's like, hey, I instructed you not to, and you should have known. That's
And you
on
should
my
have just followed
words.
his instructions. He
That's
told
what
you. Now
bugs me.
fucking
So now
shut
you want
up.
to continue this? Now you're bugged now?
No, you're asking me
No,
why
I'm telling
am I
you we're
quiet?
over it, man. You want to continue arguing about it and disrupt the show? Because I'll argue all day if you want.
just said to me, I was done with it, and you just said to me, now my feelings are hurt. And I'm explaining that they're not hurt.
Okay, well then it's over. It's cool. Tell us some jokes. Give us some wacky material.
Oh no.
Okay.
Oh boy. Oh
you see,
no.
you can't say that because I would almost take the beating to get the laugh I would get. See?
Oh, this is
Killed.
It's nothing. But this is not uncomfortable.
No.
It's hilarious right now.
This
But
is
if
good
people-
radio.
But human beings, this is what I'm saying. Every human being should really enjoy this because this is as real as you. Can you
This
imagine
is reality radio.
It is so real right now, and it's like if this was on that shitty morning show or Julian and
Mike and
Sandy,
Juliet.
it's just like okay. That's how we ended up when it gets like okay.
yeah, well, but look at Opie leaning back, hands behind his head.
But my thing is, Jimmy, there's no reason to continue on with this.
You're continuing. I'm done.
I'm
with
not
it.
continuing
Sure
it.
you are. I'm done. You said to me my feelings were hurt. I was saying that you were wrong. They really weren't.
Okay,
That
then-
was why I had that, and
then
I
you
explained
win.
it. It was not a
Okay.
winning thing.
Okay, well, your feelings aren't hurt.
We're
You-
both
you
bothered
said
by
your part.
something. We move on.
But let's go. Yeah, there's no bothering anymore.
I'm done.
We're done. It's fun times. Good times.
I'm done.
Good days.
Good days.
Fun times.
I'm done.
Holy shit, man.
Wow.
You just never know. Live radio, man.
It's compelling.
You gotta love it. It's like the 50s. It's like the old Hollywood, man. Dean Martin.
Fuck, it's only 10:34. Shit. I was hoping it would be 11.
That whole segment was like a minute.
And we can't move on. How does it happen?
What do we do?
This is the great thing. Is oh shit, here we go.
Oh, Paul.
What are you doing?
Hold on, you gotta explain it, Patrice. The security guards just walked in the studio.
That's the way to
Here's the great thing about this. This is
out
the
there.
journey that's going to be great. Is finding out how to move on.
And out.
So,
Especially with the heavies behind us
now
now.
let me ask you a question. The raised ink on the bottom
cover,
of the book.
yes, it's
How-
red. It's raised. That's called. It's embossed.
Embossed.
It's
And that's
embossed.
a special kind of printing press.
listen,
Yes, it is. It was invented in 1965 by
Yeah.
Elmer Jones.
Bring Red Rum in. Red Rum's going to get naked to try to calm everyone down.
We did notice that nudity
Nudity.
does
always-
solve the
that-
world's problems.
That breaks the ice.
We're going to attempt.
That does.
If there was nudity at peace conferences, at ooh, here we go.
Oh, she has double piercings. Actually, a triple piercing that we can see.
Is that, is
Wow, and
is
she
that
got
an
more than
explanation
that.
for a breast?
Well,
Wow, there you go.
there we go.
And that was just on command.
that.
The
Yeah.
power of O&A. Just
Little
come in,
nudity.
get naked.
You have recovered beautifully, by the way, from having a baby. You look fantastic.
Oh, she just had a kid?
Yes.
That's good to throw
All
that in to
right.
really sexy it up, Jim.
No, but I'm
Thanks.
saying I'm complimenting her. She looks beautiful.
Now you see,
What's with this guy?
What's the matter, Jim? What? Bring up that she has a baby. We're all looking at her real nice. You got to bring up that she's got a baby.
Because everybody knows she does.
the fuck is
Now
the matter
you
with
know.
you?
Now your fucking feelings are
Why are
hurt.
you on my case
I
today,
just hurt your
man?
feelings.
She looks good.
What is going on?
I can't even be nice in compliment.
fucking going on
I'm
with you?
telling her that she looks very sexy. Everybody knows she had a baby, so I'm saying
We didn't
she looks-
know.
Well, you didn't know, but she knows.
Yeah,
and he knows. And
Now you know and I know and everybody knows.
McGarity knows it. And the thing is, when a woman has a baby, nothing. Every woman is self-conscious about her body, and I'm telling her she looks fantastic. And I told her that before.
Sociopathically, on a sociopathic level, focused, and he is like this, a nasty little man. He will not stop. What's it gonna take?
I'm not in a nasty
far
mood.
you gotta
The
go?
Cobra Clutch.
Did I not?
There's no.
Did I not tell you before that you look good?
But you're using her awful after birth titties to make a point.
Jesus.
To make a point about the situation.
And I don't like.
We
I don't
know
like.
what you're doing.
I don't like what he just did, which is use this excuse to get that mean titty joke in. Who do you think you're bullshit?
He just
I didn't
worked.
know she had a baby.
He just
I
worked
thought they were
you.
awful titties alone.
He just claimed you. He set you up.
He used
He
us.
set you up.
You used us to get a mean
I
titty
feel like
joke
we're
out.
minutes away from a Royal Rumble.
Call more security. Help us.
Yeah, you know what?
We don't need security.
Don't
We-
insult
I
Chris
hear
Jericho.
Jimmy
Hold on,
Norton
hold on.
got his feelings hurt. Is that what happened?
Don't insult Chris Jericho. Leave the studio,
Yes,
Master
please. There's
Paul.
everybody.
Wow.
There's no. That's
What the
silly.
fuck? That's kind of an insult, to be quite honest.
Oh, the security
Chris,
came in?
he was only
Chris
doing-
Jericho's
Is that
a
why he came in?
professional.
He was thinking that
come
Jericho
on,
was
man.
First of all, I'd be in big trouble before Poe got there, but it was not
Dude,
necessary.
come on.
Chris Jericho's
come
a professional,
on, guys.
and he
he's
knows
rich.
that the lawsuits.
Believe me, I have no dignity problem saying
there's
that I would be
cameras on
fucking.
in here.
I
There's
would
cameras
sue
too,
him in a
Chris.
second.
Oh, would that be great on? How funny would that be on YouTube? Just you pounding Jimmy in the face.
And just him suing Chris Jericho.
They do it in slow motion 20 times. It would look like when Smith got hit in the Matrix. Your cheek would just go in.
Tell your jokes now, funny boy.
Norton National Wrestling is the NNW, as he owns everything. He sues Chris Jericho.
That's why the security came in. I just figured that out.
Thank you,
Holy
Chris.
smokes.
No, I don't have a pot to piss in or a window to throw it out. You're fired. Thanks to you.
This is because we used to do on Tough Crowd. We would get into these. We all would do it.
I watched it.
We would just be like, "You and have this quiet, you cocksucker. Did you just, And then it's like, all right, I'm gonna fucking do this to you, and then I'm gonna do this to. It's just uncomfortable. It's just that's what we do. It's just uncomfortable. It's just I want it to continue, and it's just after a while it just gets old. But you just want to just have this go on and on.
This is a
and
memorable
have
show.
logic
Of course.
And what's wrong with Red Rum's tits?
They look like.
Oh no!
I think she looks great, man. For real.
It's no. They look fine. I'd fuck them. I would. I mean, it's not like my. I'm just saying.
Now she's mad.
Yeah.
Hey, look.
And the guys
got a feeling, sir.
and the crowd is getting mad that everyone's turning
And
on
the
us.
psycho she's married to is going to be angry.
Opie is
Oh, he's
funny.
a psycho? Let
Oh,
me
he
see.
certainly
Where's
is.
that? Which one? This guy?
That guy's insane.
Oh, he just looks crazy.
Look at the size of that guy.
He looks like the guy that beat up
I
fucking
think she's
Linderman.
hot.
And he don't look like he got enough money to sue.
That's your bike? Mike.
Here's the thing. This is the thing. Now, here's where I think it's unfair in life for this. It's like, okay, I don't want to know all the context before. Meaning, I don't want to know the whole story before I make a titty joke. And I don't want to hit the whole story. You don't have to hear the whole fucking story till you go, I'm going to try to make this funny. So she pulls out her little tits, and they just look like little scared things, and you just like gotta comment on them without having to fucking go. I have to now be a man with whatever. If my girl pulled out she had stretch marks on her ass, you know what I mean, and come back and goes, Jesus, ass looks like a road map. I don't want her to go, look at my big nigger boyfriend who's going to fight you. I don't want to deal with that.
But that's what he'd be thinking.
I am focused on the titties. I'm not getting into, oh, sorry, now I have to go deeper into your past. Like, you know, my family, I come from a family of baggy little titties.
A couple minutes ago, we were talking about holding
and then I got to hear his story. But you know how many niggas I killed? I don't want to hear
What
that
happened
shit.
to our fun show?
It's still fun.
It's still fun, Chris.
You know the best thing is, Opie,
It really
earlier you were
is.
saying it's sometimes it's a grind. Like, this show, you will remember
Oh,
this
this
show.
isn't a grind today. No.
This show will be remembered.
Nothing personal.
Well, that's what happens with comedy, though. It's okay until like a joke gets too close to home. We talk about that on the show all the time. There's things that, we joke about that personally I don't like, but I sit here in silence and deal.
That's comedy.
I
Very
learned
broad.
this in college. This is all I learned in college.
Yeah.
That is
Good is good if it's good for me.
That's it.
Everybody's upset with what affects them.
That is exactly. That is the general definition of comedy right there. You're fine with stuff until it hits too close to home.
Right.
Shit, my mother
that's
can
where
lose all her feet. But you think I don't fuck around with diabetic?
Well,
Dude, it's
I
just
think
is what it is.
Yeah, I think you're a rare.
You're a rare human.
Not for a comic, he's not, though. I mean, as a comic, that's the way comedians think.
Nothing personal, Precious. You don't have to have your murderous husband murder me. Look at me. I shaved all my hair off and I'm going to kill you. Don't forget.
I want to know.
It's nothing personal, Precious.
Why no?
You could have been spectacular naked.
Hold on. Why no panties though?
I never wear underwear.
It's freezing out today, though.
But how come you just?
Shirt
that must-
better out.
How come you came in and got naked on cue? Is this something? Do you do this quite often? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
On Pal Talk.
Perfect. So she's in case of uncomfortable situation, break glass. She comes in and gets naked, and everybody's cool again.
Dude. You know what I'm saying? Dude, come on. Dude. Like that's the thing. Like, how would I? It's impossible to figure out. She comes in and will strip naked in front of people she don't know. But there is a psychopath with her to guard her against certain things.
Rape.
But not the idea. Right, rape, but not. But you you can't. It's impossible. You can't do it. You can't fucking do it. That's why everything is on. You can joke about every fucking thing. Everything. And then you deal with the consequences later. And motherfuckers don't deal with consequences in terms of being funny. Dude, I got kicked in the mouth, chased home with knives for being funny and go, shit, I'm going to be funny tomorrow. Motherfucker couldn't stab funny
You
out
sure
of me.
that
then
was for
eat
being
my-
funny?
Or trying to be.
That's why I dropped that blonde girl off. I told the joke and her father chased me. No, that wasn't it.
It's just you have to go for it, baby. You got to. And Chris, this is not uncomfortable. It really ain't. This is a new thing.
This is the new thing.
And you gotta. And you was a heel for so long.
Dude, I'm cool with it. I'm just discussing her breasts. That's what I was just curious about.
Right. And
The breasts are out.
Those are fun.
But, you know,
I'm say
But
that
there's
again.
nothing. They're fun.
I like him.
See, now I want to get into a wrestling match with
Those
Chris.
breasts aren't fun.
In what game?
They're fun. They're perky. They're bouncy. They got
There has to be
nipple
a
rings.
context to
They got
that.
nipple rings in them. That's
And
cool.
the context is this. I would, in a minute. But you just, if it was my girl, I would just go, hey, what's going on? They just, because I got
But you just said good.
Yeah,
you just said good is good if it's good for me.
Yes.
That's what it is.
That's good for me.
Look
It's
at
good.
Patrice's hands.
Yes, I like it.
Yeah, my hands
like
are
her.
different. I would have to I would have to squeeze those and suck them through the fist to have fun.
He's surprised he came out with that one.
And it's not even on her. It's just.
But the thing is, too, if she's going to come in and get naked, you have to deal with the consequences. People are going to make comments. So, I mean, it's not an insult. You're
But she
commenting.
understands that.
I'm not insulted.
Sure she does. She understands that.
What do you think of your breasts?
I don't like them.
Well, I do like them. I like
No,
little
they're
A-cups.
getting bigger this year.
Yeah, you shouldn't.
And that's smart, and get him just to fill in
See
the
the big ball
space.
guy? He promised me boobies. So.
Yeah, he should get them.
Are you gonna get
After today, he's going to feel so bad. He's going to definitely
Don't go too big though.
I don't know. I can't.
Just fill in the space. That's all you do. Whatever that. You know what I'm saying? Don't just fill in.
Squeeze him in his face.
You know, like a balloon. Like,
like a water balloon.
You are awful, man. You are just an awful man.
That was a good one. Yeah, that was a doozy.
That was a good one.
Want to play Crying Wrestling Fan?
Yeah.
Good.
There we go.
Good segue.
That's
why you run the
nice.
show.
That's what we were going to do before break. Or
That's
just
right. Yeah,
after
we've been
break.
waiting for that.
Oh, it's how it turns. It was just a love fest, and then
Instantly, now we're trying to repair the damage.
Let's all join together in laughing at somebody retarded.
Let's see where this goes.
Because I'm sure that this gentleman you will hear from is not of sound mental state.
It's a famous clip. Do you know
Yeah.
this clip, Chris?
I'm not sure. I don't know if are we looking over here or
yeah, here we
yeah,
go.
this
Let's
guy.
play this.
on E-Bomb's World.
Let's get the sound.
Go.
Please.
For the love of God, just play something.
Where's the sound?
I just want to thank each and every one of y'all for all you've done to your bodies. It's still real to me, damn it. I mean, thank you.
Easy, man.
Thank y'all guys. You're awesome. Thank you so much, Mr. Funk, for saying what needed to be said. I don't want to see another one of these.
That's not real.
Oh,
You've never
yeah.
seen that?
No,
That is
that's
legendary.
real.
He's a
interviewed
little
the guy, yeah,
upset
it's real.
about the whole
That's like
wrestling thing.
the Britney guy. Britney, why?
Yeah.
That.
This
oh
guy
my gosh,
he's a little upset.
But of course, he's right in the South. Has that? So
Yeah.
this ain't real blood. It's the same type of attitude.
Needs to be said.
Thank you so
I don't know what he was so upset about. He's
There you go.
who are the wrestlers?
It's Jim Cornette in the middle. Looks like Terry Funk. Bobby Eaton.
Wow.
have the-
Sam's nodding his head in agreement. Yes. Chris Jericho's right. He's correct.
Yes.
Thank you.
You are. That's for your home personal use, isn't it?
What is?
What you're videotaping.
Well, there'll be like a few
You
clips.
invite your, are you
online.
gonna invite your little friends over for like a WrestleMania, and then go? By the way, before WrestleMania, I just want to show you a few of my like home movies. You might enjoy Chris Jericho. Here, and then you'll play that, and your friends will be like, "Wow, you're neato."
No, I'm not 8.
The rusty.
As I know
What did you call him, Patrice? The rusty-haired. What did you say?
rusty-headed white little Negro. Rusty-headed little Negro.
Poor Sam.
Sam was related to Thomas Jefferson, and it's true. He looked up his genealogy.
Wow.
And we all know Thomas Jefferson did
A lot of the
partake in a
Jefferson
little,
part.
kind of went out into the.
You sure it wasn't
the
George
field.
Jefferson?
Sherman Hemsley fucked his mom in the back of the Buick.
So that's funny.
No, that didn't happen.
Oh, okay. We were waiting for an answer.
All right.
Do you want to ask Chris Jericho a question?
Wow. Yeah.
Yeah. Does it make you feel good to know that after like being gone for 2 years, that there's this much hype about just a possible comeback, that knowing that you still
No,
have.
it wouldn't make anyone
I'm
feel
saying,
good
how
to
does
know
it-
that they're wanted or appreciated in what they do.
it.
Oh,
You're fired. You're fired from the Fan and Sam show for such a stupid question. Go ahead, ask him another question. Ask him another stupid question.
What kind of ambiguous question was that? That question.
it was first of all, it started as a yes or no question. Do you think it's like yes or no,
What
no
a
matter what?
fucking shitty question.
And then as you went into it, you took no out of the mix.
Ask him
All
how
he
big
could say was yes.
Ask him how big he's packing. Something interesting like, wow.
Try again. Try again, Sam.
That's interesting.
Try again.
Yeah.
Okay, try something else.
Who has the biggest monster in the business in terms of you just go, what the fuck?
There's a guy called Too Cold Scorpio.
2 cold Scorpios packing the monster wood?
Radiator hose.
That's fucking figures.
Ridiculous.
That's fucking figures.
Ridiculous.
Why,
And there
who
was
is
an-
he?
He just is a funny looking black dude, and funny looking black dudes just got a monster wood, man. Baby arm.
Yeah,
Played like a 70s
baby's
pimp
arm
for a
holding an
while.
apple.
Holy shit. 2 cold fucking score. That's
Yeah.
why he did that move where he flipped. Because
Yeah.
he just would have something
just would
protecting him. Right and right on his balls. Blah!
Yeah, the momentum from the unit take him right over. Exactly.
That's all right. My balls get me from dying, nigga.
Go ahead, Sam.
When I was a child, I saw something. Go ahead.
Last week, would you ever allow Ralphus to return?
Ralphus was my weird sidekick guy that he used to drive the truck around, drive the lights, and he had like no front teeth and had these spike incisors that stuck out of the side of his teeth like punji sticks from Vietnam. And I dressed him in a half shirt that said Jericho Personal Security, and he was just this weird guy that used to just come to the ring with me as kind of a funny thing.
You still alive?
I don't know where he is, man. He got weird. He was like just a truck driver. The next thing you know, like the girls were talking to him and people were chanting for him. I'd be getting like really big heat with the crowd, like, you know, you suck, and then turn around and people would be cheering because Ralph was on the other side, like waving at the crowd. And I said, you can't wave at the crowd. We're bad guys, but these guys they're nice people. They're cheering for me. They're very friendly. You hate them. No, they're really nice. This guy just didn't get it. So I don't really know what happened to him, but he was literally a truck driver one week. The next week he was on TV and everyone was chanting his name. And I really don't think he really understood what was going on. Like, he was banging broads in his truck outside of the arena. He would be taking flowers from girls like at ringside. Like, people just went nuts for him.
Time of his life.
Exactly. Now he's wondering, I don't know what happened. It was fun, but I don't know what happened now.
So I guess the answer is no.
No.
Another
Jeez, man,
yes.
he had to make something interesting out there.
Exactly. I'm doing the best I get.
Why don't you ask him what hair care products he uses? Because his hair looks lovely.
2 hours we've been here, and that's the best you got. Give me something better, man.
Not even 2 hours we've been here. You're a fucking wrestling fan.
Yeah.
Years. All the stuff that's went down today, fun stuff, heavy stuff, everything in between, and you ask me, do you like your fans?
If I had asked Patrice's penis question, I would have been considered a gay guy.
You just can't win, Terry, Sam.
No, I don't know.
Fan.
Thank you for your question, Sam. I appreciate it.
Sam. Just ask a goddamn question that somebody wants to goddamn hear. Like, if they were here, you ask a question for them to do.
After your question, 5 people turned up their radios to get the answer.
That's 5 people, though. That's pretty
Yeah,
good.
it's wonderful. We're talking to 1 million.
Nothing.
Let's go. Give him another one.
Last chance.
If he's not your favorite wrestler, ask him something interesting about your favorite wrestler that you want to know about.
Well, he is one of my favorite wrestlers.
So then ask him a favorite wrestler question.
How about,
Not a
Sam,
fucking,
man.
not
That's
a newborn infant question. This is like a 3-year-old. Mr. Jericho. He has to be fake with you right now. You're making him sick.
am I making you sick?
He's not going to say that because he knows that he's a good guy.
You ask me anything you want, bro.
what
Here's
I'm
your
saying?
last question.
See,
And
but-
Patrice is right, by the way.
Think about this, Sam. Think that a lot of wrestling message boards, no matter what we do, if we mention wrestling, the boards get slammed. Now, of course, with everything that's been said and stuff today, there's going to be a lot of information on Chris Jericho on the message boards. You have the opportunity now to ask him a question that's going to end up on all these boards. You'll be kind of like a wrestling board celebrity.
Oh, wow.
But it's got to be a good question.
Yeah.
Why is that a pressure question? I don't understand. What the hell is the matter with you?
Did you feel slighted when you were kind of pushed out of the main event scene towards the end? I mean, right at the end, you were banging the main event.
Wow. Horrible, sir. Horrible.
Wow.
When you were pushed into middle cards, how did it make your life feel?
Yeah.
Yikes. That's what he was saving up for. Wow.
I'm saying I thought that you should have been the main event.
When you're on the road to has-beendom, was it really rough to...
Next stop's the real life.
And it's just the same question he asked, except for now it's uncomfortable. Like,
Yeah.
Okay, Hey, do you enjoy when you do the moon saw? Yes, I do. Do you enjoy when you would bump down to middle card and wrestling right before the guy who dressed as the Green Lantern?
Do you like cake?
How do you feel to wrestle? How do you feel to wrestle without the TV cameras on?
When they bump you back down the gymnasium.
How did it feel to wrestle on the Allentown wrestling tour?
When you went from main eventer to jobber before the cameras came out.
The guy just like a Green Lantern.
When you started being Gangrel's
Did it bother you when all?
tag team partner.
Did it bother you?
Oh God! Did he stop?
when they made you put in vampire teeth with Gangrel.
Here's a literal Vince story. You're talking about Vince firing people. Here's a Vince story. Gangrel was a vampire guy, for people that don't know, and he had one of the coolest ring entrances. Right, he would come up from the bottom,
And the video,
fire, and he looked
he
cool.
had something, that
but
guy.
just wrestling wise, it just wasn't there. But he wore a shirt. And they kind of didn't know about it anyways. And he was wrestling, and he took a bump. And when he took a bump, his shirt came up. And I was sitting right by Vince. Vince was watching the show. And this big roll of flab came out of the shirt. And Vince looked at it and went, ugh. The next week,
Fired! You want to eat like a pig? You can live with them! You're fired! That's right! Pack your stuff and get out! You and your fat roll! Leave! Just picture that. That's disgusting. You want to represent me? Get out!
I can't believe what a fucking mediocre nobody Sam is right now. Just nothing.
Stinking up the joint with these fucking questions.
Nothing.
He's had time to think.
All right,
now.
here we go. Let's go.
here we go.
Just picture all the websites that are going to have this question.
And
later
then
today.
Sam asked.
And then Sam asked.
This
It's
is
gonna be on
great.
all the
It's great
wrestling
for you.
sites. Let's go.
What was politically? What was it like between the differences between the WCW locker room and the WWE locker room?
Bigger cops.
That's not
That's
a
a
bad.
good question.
That's not a bad question at
That
all.
is a
See,
good
there you go.
question.
After 5 tries, you got one.
That's a
Bingo.
good question. That was a good question.
WCW was very strange. It was very much a hierarchy. Wherever you came in is where you stayed, like an Indian caste system or something along those lines. So all the guys like the Hogan and those guys, they were kind of running the show. And guys like myself, even though we were working hard and people were into it, didn't ever really get any care or respect from the office. And that's the reason why I was able to kind of get over a little bit, because nobody cared what I said. I like, can I go say a promo for 30 seconds? Yes, you can. I'd go to the ring, say a promo, say a bunch of bullshit. People would like it. But no one was paying any attention to me because I was just lowly Chris Jericho. So the politics, it's almost like they had everything but really squandered it. It was like a millionaire who spends all his money on hookers and blow and then says, I didn't put it away for the future. That was WCW. When I went to WWE, it was a whole new world. Everybody had an angle. Everyone had respect. Vince McMahon knows the name of the popcorn vendor all the way up to the world champion. Eric Bischoff never really said anything and would kind of really be sequestered off with his guys. And it was a real, like, high school. Everybody sat with themselves.
Is
It was
Bischoff
strange.
still there?
In WWE, no, he's not. No, I don't think
He's
he's there anymore.
gone.
He's gone, yeah. He's gone.
And let me ask you: is Coach and all these guys that are being put over as like GMs and da da da? Is there any of them that actually make matches or like
it's all-
Teddy Long or anything, or it's just all?
No, that's all show.
It's all show.
Yeah, it's all show. And you should know that, Patrice.
I know that, but they do. Like Jim Ross, he's when I was there, Jim Ross was big boy. Like Jim
Yeah.
Ross was like
He was the head of talent relations.
he was big boy. He was
Really?
a big boy, but all he was on tape was the guy
The
with
announcer
the
or whatever,
yeah, he was like
right,
doing his thing.
exactly.
And
my God, King! Amazing!
that's what he. But he was a
My
he
God,
was a big,
my God.
I tell you, a guy that was an asshole when I was there, treated me like shit. Was the other big boy? It was Vince, and there was another motherfucker who was really the man.
Dog the bounty hunter.
and he looked at Vince when I was on the plane and went, what the fuck is this nigga doing on the plane? Don't let him on the plane. I like saying nigga.
Who was it?
Was it Kevin
Done.
Kevin Dunn.
Kevin Dunn.
God, he treated me like dog shit, Kevin Dunn.
Well, he's the executive producer of all the shows. So if he was treating you like shit, you don't have long to
It
last
was
there.
just awful.
yeah,
he looked me
he's-
up and he wouldn't even speak to me. I'm like, Jesus, I'm right next to Vince.
Yeah, he's big time.
All right,
He's big time.
Good job for.
That was good. He finally got it. Yeah, he got
Should we
it.
do line of the day and get the hell out of here or what?
That sounds like a plan.
Sounds good. We were still trying to recover from the atrocities.
I think we made a full recovery.
We did. We're doing good.
I think so.
Yeah, we're doing good. It's all good.
I think we're okay.
Patrice just laughing his ass off.
Are you guys?
This is crazy,
Are you guys going to agree to disagree? Is that what it comes down to?
No, we're friends.
Agree to disagree.
We're
What
fine.
does that even mean? Agree to disagree?
It's a bit we do on the show, Patrice. Of course it means nothing. That's the point of the whole fucking thing. We just hate when people say that, so now we do it on our show.
my
Look at how they usher the audience out.
Disagree.
The audience is leaving in protest.
They usher them out so we don't have to sit here and take pictures with all of them.
Yeah. Ask questions and they can take sides on our arguments.
Oh, shit.
No, we just don't want them to see the bloodshed. No
They won't
witnesses.
see me exit. They'll just see like one of my shoes and my bloody sweat jacket. Take it out.
The best part that security was sent in. That's
Yeah, it wasn't necessary.
It's like, come on.
It wasn't necessary.
who makes that call? Do you have a red button underneath?
messed
that?
No, it was a
Was it you?
personal judgment call.
No, believe
No,
me.
who fucking did that?
Poe would hear that and
No,
go,
Paul, I don't
I
call Paul.
actually told Poe not to come in here, and he
Paul
said,
was
no,
just-
I'm going to
Paul
come
was
in.
doing his job.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, that was unnecessary.
Guarantee that was just Poe coming in to make sure.
But that's great, though. I mean, now we can say, remember that time when the security came in? It was so
Paul was
crazy.
trying to protect me. He didn't know if Chris was just going to smash me.
Oh,
So he
come
had to
on,
be-
man. We're
That-
professionals,
I'm
right?
saying that that's what his job was.
Chris, when did you take that? When did you take
I don't
this?
think he'd punch you.
I'm not saying he would, but
How were you on? That's and I thought that was Chris Jericho right there. I'm sorry.
You make
It's not a joke on you. It's a joke on
You trying to fucking make a situation, motherfucker.
Not him.
You think he
It
looks
was
like
a
Ellen
joke.
DeGeneres?
you're saying I'm making
was a
I don't have to say
It's a joke on
I don't
Ellen.
have to say if you're saying I look like Ellen. The joke is a joke is on him.
Patrice just said you look like Ellen DeGeneres.
Did he just say I look like Ellen DeGeneres? Is that what he just said?
He fucking did. He goes, when did you take this? We all looked up and there's Ellen DeGeneres.
Dude, if we were watching King Kong and someone said, look, it's Patrice, you'd go, oh, that's the joke on King Kong. I'm just trying to a context we can all
I
appreciate.
apologize. I meant to. Right. Very fair.
That's what I'm just
was
trying to be.
What were you
Trying to be
getting
loud.
at, though? Was that it?
He
said I'm skinny. He said,
You dance, you're a lesbian.
but no, earlier he said I look like I was from a concentration camp.
I can't hear. I can't hear you.
I can't. Me going, hey Ellen, but going to Ellen. Hey, listen, are you coming back to wrestling with that tutu thing? But I couldn't say anything to her, so it was like I was saying that to her, but he was.
Yeah.
I'm so
So
lost.
I have to. That makes sense.
Yeah. And I see your
apologize.
side.
He compared
I'm very
Jericho to
sorry.
Ellen, but he's saying that the punchline was Ellen, not Chris.
If Ellen was sitting here and Chris was on TV and you go, hey, look, then it would have worked.
Absolutely, and that's where it went. Yeah.
But then we also wouldn't have had that earlier situation if it was Ellen.
It would have been different. It would have been a lesbian.
I've
thing.
completely forgotten.
Would've
Yes,
been a lesbian
Jimmy
thing.
would have blurted out some insensitive lesbian joke,
Of course.
and she'd have kicked his ass.
All right.
Damn it, boy! This has just been
This is the Wild West. It has, hasn't it?
It's just been
It
a
has.
lesson
We've run the
in-
gamut.
Take your fucking hat and go to the Cotton Club, you motherfucker.
I know.
He's just like the American Gangster dude.
The bitch around and
We're not leaving until we see that Brother Joseph has proper medical attention.
I'm going somewhere and get a cockaline right now, baby. Rob.
That's an amazing hat.
It's got a feather in it.
It works. All right, Patrice. We learned today that Chris Jericho is coming back to the WWE. Let's not forget that.
And,
Ooh, he did not deny that.
well, I mean, at this point, what's the
Wrestling
point?
sites have
What's the
fun.
point? Exactly.
What's the point? Yeah, exactly. Why bother?
So it's a yes?
Well, you know, I got a book tour for the next month, and after that, we'll see what happens.
We just beat him down.
That's gonna, you know
At
something
this
though?
point, he's like, oh, fuck it all.
That right there is gonna scoop your great questions
But the
on the
thing-
wrestling websites.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Everyone's gonna know, but that's the speculation that's going on. So, and I never denied or confirmed anything. So,
Usually means it's true, by the way.
well, you know, yeah.
Alliance,
Do you know to get my truck? Sorry.
Let's make it perfectly clear. Chris Jericho's book is A Lion's Tale Around the World in Spandex. Getting great reviews from someone I respect a lot as far as writing goes, Mick Foley. He's written some great books over the years, and he writes thoughtful, thorough, and laugh out loud funny. Jericho's book is a winner. And he was kind of scared that your book was funnier than his.
Well,
So.
like I said, that's the idea. Hopefully we'll get that. Come on down to, where am I at? Borders?
100 Broadway in Manhattan at 12:30. You'll be there signing copies.
Come on down and insult me. It's Insult Jericho Day.
Wow.
Are you coming back, Eric?
Jimmy's going to be dropping in for that one.
To hear, guys, this is fun stuff.
Yeah, it is.
I have no problems.
Have a great
hope
time.
everyone, sometimes you get into deep discussions. This is what we do. You know what I mean? Jimmy, talk, brother. Come on. We had a deep discussion today. Everyone has opinions.
Yes.
There's no lasting things.
Not at all.
It's like having a beer talking about the Mets or the Knicks or the Mets and the Knicks. Do you like basketball or baseball?
Basketball players playing baseball.
It's perfect. Sounds like an idea.
Yes, and I'll be in Queensbury tonight at the Saratoga Comedy Club. In that shithouse Sweet Basil restaurant, so come see me there.
And hopefully,
that's enticing.
Hopefully you'll be funny. Hopefully you'll be funny.
Let's hope so to be a first, but if you can make it, come on, be up there. Saturday early show sold out, so try the other three.
Wow,
And Patrice's Stress Factory, 732-545 ha tonight and tomorrow night. 2 shows tonight with that revolting phone number, and 2 shows tomorrow night. The great Patrice O'Neill.
Thank you, Jim.
And of course, Chris is doing his book signing today at Borders 100 Broadway,
Manhattan.
and there's going to be a line, so get there early.
You do Best Week Ever still?
Not Best Week Ever, but we just filmed I Love the New Millennium. And even though it's only 2007, they're already doing that. So.
Oh, okay.
I want to thank Quick from Harlem Nights also.
I am going to wear this hat, man. I knew it, but it's going to happen. I'm just going to wear my goddamn hat.
No, we learned when you wore that fucking Pink Panther shirt, and we didn't give you any shit about it.
Right now, Oscar Madison's head is cold.
This guy came in with a Pink Panther T-shirt one day.
And we didn't give him one fucking word about it. Not one word.
We let him slide for whatever reason.
Y'all some sneaky bastards. You know a lot of little, Quick from... That is a fucking amazing reference.
You know
right
something?
there.
I wish I could sit here and take credit for that. And there's the bell. It starts the third round. I wish I could take credit for that, but that was handed to me by Danny.
Danny did.
Who came up with it? Was it Danny?
Yes.
All right.
Danny Googled blacks and hats.
See, that's good. That's funny. That's the true comedy.
These fucking two.
Oh, these two.
We're going to a club
Chris
after.
is a goddamn troublemaker too.
Yes, of course
he
he is,
thinks
of course.
he's slick because he's smarter than probably 98% of all the wrestlers. They don't know when he's being an asshole. But the thing he knows that's jabbing him is his validation of each joke.
Yes.
Now that was good.
And then I'll say something.
Chris is fully aware of what he's
Oh,
doing.
you are.
See, now I'll
For the people out there, this thing is still going on. 40 minutes later. You just got to listen very closely.
We'll have to bring the rematch back.
You got to hear the little jabs that have been going back and forth for the last 40 minutes.
I'll say something.
The great Khali doesn't know when he's doing that to him. That's
No, Jimmy, don't let Patrice stir you up, man.
No, Patrice is right. Of course I'm not stupid. Like, you think I don't know? Like, gee whiz, thanks a lot. He liked that one. Fucking 40 years old.
He just did the ball.
Let it be said that Tim's been jabbing back, too. You just got to listen really closely.
But of course, I know that that's just what it is. So then if I'm like kind of shitty about something, he'll go, "What? We let it go."
You know what he is?
He's a passive aggressive monster.
Yes! He's a
passive aggressive monster.
Passive aggressive in his ass!
I almost made it out the door without you figuring it out on air.
I liked this.
No, we were fully aware. We just wanted it to play out because it was fun to listen to.
At one point, Chris went, "Now that's funny," and Jimmy goes, "Yeah, thanks," and makes the face like, but it sounded like a thank you. But if you looked at the face, it was just like, "Yeah, thank you."
You can't be able to fight and be smarmy. You can't be a smarmy ass and beat somebody up at the same time. You have to just...
That's like telling somebody...
What an asshole!
And you love it, don't you? You love it.
But that's why Chris Jericho's shit is great. I love
amazing,
when he used to
dude.
do all that stuff during his matches and all that crap.
But that's the equivalent of telling somebody
That
the
is fucking
truth.
genius,
telling
man.
somebody
That's
the awful truth. Like if somebody has an ugly girlfriend and go, "Hey, your girlfriend's a pig," and then wink at him and poke at him in the stomach. I got you. Just kidding, pal.
Good
Just
call,
kidding.
man. That's right.
Just kidding.
That's very good.
Between us, you know.
And I was just sitting there going, "Why is he?" And I go, "Oh my God, Jericho's a goddamn troublemaker." I was feeling bad for a second, like,
No, he absolutely
he's
is.
an asshole, man. That's hilarious.
He knows.
Goddamn good
Manipulation
one. You
is my
got me.
game.
Holy shit.
He's been doing that his whole career.
God, I know
that's what we
wrestlers.
do.
I know
That's what we
wrestlers
do.
hated you. It's only like 3 that liked you. I already know.
Yeah.
I just
No,
know.
yeah.
Son of a bitch.
I'm going to pee my pants. Do we have to do line of the day or what should
Oh, that's funny.
All right, BowDogFantasy.net brings you line of the day. It's for fantasy football fans everywhere. BowDogFantasy.net. Check it out for yourself if you play some of that fantasy football. BowDogFantasy.net. Here's a runner-up line of the day.
Hart said that his client is not a racist and vowed never to use the word again. Well, how is he going to go through life without saying again?
That's good. Did you just say that's good?
That's funny, guys.
Dear diary. Don't starve for. Dear diary.
You know what? I want to.
You guys should do more humor like that.
That's nice.
I want to hang out with Chris Jericho more, man. He's right down my alley there.
He's funny, but I didn't realize he was that funny. I didn't
Right on.
just
All right,
now
here.
realize that. God damn it.
Here's another runner-up line of the day.
Good is good if it's good for me.
Yes.
That's what it is.
That's good for me.
Look
It's
at
good.
Patrice's hands.
Yes, I like it.
Yeah, my
I like
hands are
her.
different. I would have to
It.
kind of. I would have to squeeze those and suck them through the fist.
Fucking. That was a good one, man. Now that was a good line.
That was funny.
Oh, if you adopt that is going to be the worst too. That's worse than a car crash to go.
I wasn't.
That was a good one.
I wasn't feeling your nigger shit, but that was good.
Holy shit. Oh. The fuck is that? God, I'm
It
so.
all comes crashing down.
Unbelievable.
I haven't heard a lot of your stuff, Patrice, but that was really funny.
I'm not a fan or anything.
You should do more of that right there.
Do a lot more of that.
That's a good
Do a
one.
lot more of that right
All right,
there.
hey, here's another runner-up line of the day.
I'll be playing Pose Revenge. It's set on a video game of F.H. Riley's.
No, in the parking lot.
Oh, yes.
I want to make it very clear.
But you have to walk through the establishment first.
We don't
It's part of the
condone that
game.
activity at that fine restaurant.
And you go out back.
Pose revenge is he ties you to a stake and then talks to you. Oh shit, swim walk.
Is this bad? I just texted Poe to get my car and face it west. I said, make sure it's facing west. Do you think that's gonna be a problem?
Yeah, he's got his stupid finger up in the air.
Poe, where is it? It's in the Parker Meridian lobby.
Is Chris texting wrestling friends
Yeah,
here?
I have. No, my wife just called me because I haven't called her all morning. She's
What'd she
probably one of
call
the
you?
worst. She called me an idiot.
It's just gonna
She called me not funny.
All right, here we go. Another runner-up line of the day. Just so you know a little more, WWE sent him a real belt
a
for his
champion
birthday.
belt, yeah.
The real one.
Really? Why is that?
With the spinning thing and
Because
everything.
he's such a huge fan.
Are you sick or?
talking about That's a great line.
That's all right.
Now that one's good.
No, I don't
Chris.
like it. That plays off of sick children because that is what they send sick kids. Honestly,
They're still going out.
but I'm not. I'm saying the truth. What is he sick? They send sick kid shit.
Oh, shit.
They really do. That's a play off sick children.
Can I say to you,
I believe it.
I can't fucking.
I got the line of the day. No, the problem is that I got the line of the day and I'm not even a comedian.
It's not line of the day.
holy shit! Can I show you the face? I know it's radio.
Yeah, play it out
But
for
he
everybody.
would not. When that happened, when Norton just did that, Chris's face went down as to go. How it went doo-doo-doo like a computer to go. How am I going to get him back? He is competitive.
Of course.
He is awful.
Dude, you should be like that. You're actually right. That's what I was thinking.
He just went. All right, good one, motherfucker.
But I can't say that.
Come back. Holy shit! This was one of my
this is
favorite fucking radio shows of all time. I found out Chris Jericho is just horrendous, and Norton is just pure. His whole body is a heart. I know he's shaped like a inside of a body, like an organ. He's shaped like a liver, but he's all
This is the
heart.
This is better than the main event at WrestleMania.
Oh,
yeah,
my God.
this has been going on for the last hour. The little jabs ever since the
Well,
moment.
the main
Patrice
event
just
at
found it.
WrestleMania, but but not his main event because he's on the middle cards, right, Sam?
Remember Sam? What you said, Sam?
Yeah, that's right.
Dress sock
I
eyebrow.
worked in a battle royal on WrestleMania once.
Sam wanted to ask this question: is it true that you had to write a book because the WWE doesn't care about you anymore? You needed something to do.
You motherfucker! What is this?
And by the way, there's fucking Opie's beauty. I want to say something awful, so I'll pretend so-and-so wanted to say it.
We are learning the rules of comedy.
And look at Anthony's looking at him like, hey, cuntface. Wait a minute. I did not. Anthony's not looking at him like that.
This is the meanest show I've been on.
Pretty much,
This really is mean.
You're pretty much watching a show just unravel in front of your eyes.
This is so mean.
A show we've built up for years is coming apart today.
Jimmy's fucking pegged that right on the head too. Using somebody else.
Well, because I think Jimmy's been waiting to get back at me because I kind of like jumped in on the Jericho thing earlier. I think he's been waiting to give me a
I just
slam.
noticed it. No, I just noticed it.
Jimmy has been pretending to be him since that happened. He's been a doppelganger of Jimmy. Like he has went into another place.
Oh my
But
God.
Chris is still there. Also, but he's more political. Jimmy's just his little eyes with no eyelids are just open, and Chris is like, I want to get this little piece of garbage.
All right, we got to get Jericho out of here. A Lion's Tale around the world in spandex. But here's your line of the day. Thank you, BodogFantasy.net.
Here
Let's see if my balls on staff.
Duck and cover.
And then you got, in second place, manliest video games ever, according to ArthursPaul.com. Mike Tyson's Punch-Out! From 1987. I remember
It's a
that
classic.
one. Yeah, that's a classic, obviously.
Yeah, I agree.
As the other game, actually.
Tyson's Revenge.
Custer's could have been the same. Can I get line of the day? Yeah. Nice try, kid.
We learned the staff has no balls whatsoever.
Me and
everybody
leaned up like this.
Bunch of pussies. They should have absolutely fucking just made it the most uncomfortable situation.
I actually jockeyed my chair towards the door.
He's nervous. Norton was back here. He went.
You know what, though?
My
I had
heart
nothing to
was
do with
pounding.
it, and I was watching for my escape round, too. We all were looking, all right, I think I can jump over this console. I think I can get out in 2 seconds. Hey, Chris, it was a pleasure. Hope you come back. I don't think you'll ever be back.
What's wrong with Steve?
He's just doing what he normally does here.
He's sitting in those chairs. You can't sit in those chairs.
I thought he looked like he was thinking deeply.
No.
I'm going to pee my pants.
I
Everything
hate
looked-
for this one to end there, Obi.
I think we did everything. Unless you want to keep going, I gotta go. Everyone's got to go.
We're out of here.
A Lion's Tale, a great book. Chris Jericho signing
guys.
100 Broadway in Manhattan at 12:30 today.
Yes.
Thank you, guys.
We'll see you Monday.